All I'm saying is that we shouldn't assume that Housephone is dead again just because he's 3 minutes late. Because last time we scared everybody, and like his one Instagram photo became like a RIP post with like 1 million comments. Like, are you dead? Are you
okay?
It's kind of weird for him and his family. I
Praying
assume.
for you.
I think I kind of insinuated a little more. That was my first experience with him went missing. Yeah,
And being MIA.
I was trying to be a good friend, make sure he was alive.
Right. But being a good friend to him for a long time, it's kind of like showed me that he will frequently like probably disappear and that you just won't be able to have any control over it.
Something you got to accept in your friendship.
You accept your friends for being drug addicts. You accept your friends for being alcoholics.
I'm not. Why would you say this?
You ended up in the hospital from energy drinks and alcohol the other day.
And you made a
Just
video
the other
about it.
day.
That was last week, man. Move on.
You didn't like the video?
Look what I got now.
Did you
Changed.
3 small ones? Wait, but did you not like that we clipped that?
I liked it.
You did.
Yeah.
Does it hurt that we have 3.6 million subscribers and only 50,000 of them watched the video about you saying how you almost died?
I mean, hey.
Maybe they didn't want to hurt themselves by seeing something so sad.
Maybe they didn't
because
want it to
love
affect their
AD so
own
much.
drinking.
See? There's other reasons
I mean,
why.
if it was me, I would click over it too. Like, I don't want to hear this.
I would. They're supposed to care about you. Like they got to care. Although I think that like at one point when we first started fucking with you, we clipped like a part of it and it was like AD talks about selling $30 dick or some shit.
What?
And yeah, because he used to be a
I used to be gigolo.
He used to sell his
Spoiler
body.
alert.
Sell your dick?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Whatever works for you.
I
Are
feel
those
like-
cherries?
Yes.
Like 'em.
And then I have a lemon on this side.
Fire.
Thank you.
Wow,
That's hot.
that's hot.
Yeah, thanks.
See? You started off early.
Yeah, I'm trying to like think of Marisa, all the things we got to tell you about ourselves, like such as the fact that
know how to sit.
we just say everything's hot. It's like
Okay.
kind of where we're at now in terms of like our own personal like trends in terms of like our own slang and humor.
Okay.
It's hot has really kind of taken over our vernaculars lately.
Shout out to Paris Hilton because that's well, she was that hot. Not well, that you did say that time. So.
That's hot. Yeah, a lot of people compare it to her, but to me, it's really like too much of like a us being gay thing to compare it to Paris Hilton. Like she's a woman.
She's a
saying
woman.
sincerely that she thinks things are hot. Us, we're kind of like sarcastically saying things are hot that are actually
So
not.
does no one like my earrings then? Where are we on the scale?
No, those are cool. Yeah,
I meant it.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I like them too. But like usually
too.
when we're saying it, it'll be like somebody will say something sus,
No, I
and then
get
we'll
it,
kind of
yeah.
be like, "That's hot." Okay, introduce yourself for the people who don't know who you are. I'm interested to
Do I
see
look
where
like
you
a
take
camera?
this.
I'm Marisa Mendez. I have a lot of titles. I don't identify with most of them, so I don't know how to categorize myself, but I've been on the Joe Budden podcast, Hot 97, my own podcast. I write books and shit. I do mad shit. I don't know.
You have a lot going on, and we've been talking about having you on the pod for a while.
Literally for like a minute. You and I have talked about it too. And
Right.
Here we are,
And
finally.
it's like it kind of works out well that Housephone may or may not be alive and is not here, and you just happen to be here with us.
Here
Because
I am.
if it was all 4 of us, number one, he starts going overboard when there's girls here, and I feel like he might just kind of like trip out and just not be able to handle himself.
You think so?
I don't know. When
You
he
get
sees
hella out of pocket.
when he sees a girl for the first time, sometimes his brain
he in
gets a
middle
little,
school?
he just can't think right. And I don't know if this would happen there, but I could see him kind of like seeing you and like all of a sudden he just starts acting crazy. I could see that.
I have a tendency to do that to people.
Do you?
Not really. I just felt like saying that. Sounded good.
That's hot.
You know what is crazy, and I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but I went back and I listened to the first ever episode of the JBP yesterday.
You were telling me that earlier, and my girlfriend Sasha that's here,
I love Sasha.
I love Sasha too, so she's my friend. That episode specifically, we were like reliving that moment today because the stories we were telling, it was like from a club that me, her, and Joe had gone to.
What rapper were you
There's-
harassing at that club?
I don't even remember. at
You
this
don't
point.
remember, or you just
No.
don't want to admit it because
I mean, it's just like old shit.
they probably haven't been popping for 5 years.
They have been actually.
Oh, they have? They're
Yeah,
doing-
he's,
okay.
he's a friend of mine, so I don't want to just be like annoying and weird and shit like that. But yeah, it was a homie, and I wasn't harassing. Joe has a way of like sensationalizing everything. We're still cool, me and that person. So if I was really harassing, I guess we wouldn't be still cool.
Right.
So
That was interesting because listening to that, it's like that's kind of like an earlier era of podcasting where people got on a
Really?
podcast and thought that like your job on a podcast was basically to just like analyze going out
literally, we had no idea what we were doing. Like we were
and just And you know, that's like an early thing people do in podcasting is they basically get really into talking about like the politics of being a thought.
Oh yeah, that was like,
you know,
for me, even for me too. Like, I mean, that's always been a part of it. Like, everybody fucks. We're all in this industry. Everyone looks good. We're gonna fuck. And I've always told like funny stories because I usually end up in stupid ass situations, and they're fucking hilarious. So I like to share them. And so that became kind of like my main thing on that show. But then it became all that it was, which was super annoying because that's not. And it was supposed to be funny. I'm sharing those stories so y'all laugh. And it was coming back like I was sharing it for clout. It just was coming back to me, not the way I was putting out in the world. And it wasn't a good balance.
Listening to that first episode, it kind of made me realize that Joe probably has gone through a similar thing that I've gone through, which is where if you are out being a thought, which I guess I'm just not a thought anymore, so this is an easy decision to make, but you really don't want to be like airing out the details of your sex life in detail on a podcast. It doesn't really end well.
It doesn't bode well at all. And for both of it was just a learning experience for both of us because I'm literally just going there doing what I would do like with my friends, and then I'd be getting people angry at me and shit like that. And I'm like, fuck, this isn't working well at all. Like it just wasn't. And then it just, I don't know. We learned as we were going. Like you said, early era. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Because when you think about a podcast, you know, that just seems like that's something that people got to get out of their system is that they're really, really amused by their own social lives and their own like hookup lives.
For sure.
And as time goes by, that kind of just seems a little bit less compelling.
I haven't done my own podcast in like a year just because I'm like, I don't want to share anything I'm doing. I like it just being for me, and I don't have much to share with y'all, and I just kind of chilled out on it.
That's one weird thing about having a kid is that it's like one thing that I don't feel inclined to make content about.
Is,
you know?
Oh, your kid or?
Yeah, my kid. Like, you know, I very easily could. I know that if I put the kid in the YouTube thumbnail or whatever, I could probably get
you
know,
crazy.
And I'm not saying I'll never do it, but it just like, you're so in the moment of doing it and it takes such focus to pay attention to your kid that the idea of like documenting it just doesn't. I'm documenting what the fuck I'm doing like every other hour of the day.
Yeah, and you've been doing it for many years. So to have something nice for you and just that's your moments with your family, like it feels good.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's like but then I see these YouTuber families.
Dog, that shit is, and they make a lot of motherfuckers.
My daughter loves watching a bunch of them.
Yeah, all the kids, like my friends' kids, I always end up fucking watching. It's so annoying, by the way, those YouTube videos. I hate them so much.
Really?
But those people make a lot of motherfucking money, bro.
That's what I hear.
I can't do it. I can't be that happy on camera. They're all like, oh, hey, everybody. Today we're fucking making slime and killing each other.
I hate it. Like, come on.
I don't.
Just do not. Like, do miss me with that shit.
That's why I don't like hosting things either. Like, on camera hosting. Like, interviews are different because you're just having conversations. But on camera hosting, you got to turn on that same way.
You mean like hosting like a concert or something? Or like backstage video stream
when I
or
be at
something?
Revolt, hosting the streams for Revolt all the time. Like, you really, that's like and you literally have to dip into some different level energy and bring it out for the camera. It's not.
And that's why I think people don't understand how hard being a Twitch streamer or whatever is that you basically you have to be your own hype man for all these hours. And if you stop for 5 minutes, they're going to fucking leave. And it's just like the hardest thing in the world. And it's the one thing that everybody seems to think is really easy and like not that difficult.
I tried it before for a second.
Twitch?
Yeah, I was like, they was like, but you have to have like a regular schedule. Yeah. Kind of like TV. I was like, I can't keep up with the schedule.
What can you do on Twitch? Like just play video games, or are there other options?
You could do anything. I see people do makeup. Some people just give people like financial advice and stuff. It's all type of things you could do.
I don't think I'm interesting enough to see
I play poker on Twitch, and it works good because that's like kind of where the whole community is. There's all these other people who play Twitch poker, and like, you know, they all sort of like, it's a nice community about it. And then the other day I was streaming a tournament. I busted out the tournament. So you can take your viewers and do a raid where you basically take all your viewers and they all go to a different stream. Okay. And we used to do this podcast with this girl, Cam Girl, who's like a DJ and all this stuff.
I actually know who that is.
Yeah. And we're so cool and stuff. So I raided hers, and it was a weird dynamic because I'm like, watching her DJ to like 100 people, and then all of a sudden it becomes 600 people. And from her perspective, like she seemed like a little like bashful, like, oh my God, like you know, it's like fucking 600 people just walked into my living room. This is crazy. Like that was kind of That was like weird, but it made me feel really good too. Even though like she's not getting anything out of it, I guess, unless they like subscribe or follow or whatever.
But they could have.
They could. You know, it's like it's a weird.
Put people onto her.
Just like making people see you DJ in your living room, and somehow that feels like it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, that was.
That's one thing I've seen. Like I used to watch YouTube, Fortnite streamers and stuff. I used to be real big into Fortnite. They would take the big streamers. They would raid somebody like a little streamer who had like 10 followers or something like that, and then they'll have 15,000 people on this shit. They just go crazy, just freaking out and shit. I thought that was dope as hell.
So, okay, what did you guys do this weekend? Anything we need to talk about?
I went to New Jersey for a day.
Why?
I just been here, stuck in LA for months because of COVID and shit like that.
So you got away for a day? How the hell does that make sense?
I just don't like traveling for many days. I get annoyed by everything. So I'm like, one day feels bite-sized and good. So I landed 10 p.m. Saturday, spent the day with my nieces and nephews and my best friend on Sunday, left 6 a.m. yesterday, and back.
I can't relate. I hate traveling way too much to do that. Like the fucking pain of getting on a flight and
the Ubers and it's annoying, but I don't know. To me, I like compress it, and it's just I just focus on what I'm going to do and get it done. And
I feel you.
Right.
I just hate being in motion so much. It's like you have to like basically give up 2 days to be somewhere else for one day.
Yeah, literally, yeah, because you lose your Saturday especially cross country, because you're starting in the morning and you end at night because of the time difference. So
you gotta like have something that you can do in that moment that will like be a useful enough. Like if you had a book that you needed to read,
the exact plane's the perfect.
The
place
plane
for
is if you're gonna be sitting in the chair reading the fucking book, maybe the plane is an okay use of that time. But it never really works out like that, right?
I always bring a book. I never read my book. Always, yeah,
I've been that guy many a time.
I think maybe one time I did read one, but I just listen to music and play Candy Crush.
I know what I want to talk about. You know what I want to talk about.
Go ahead, crack it off.
What does your shirt say?
Compton.
Where was I on
LA.
Friday?
Oh my
City
God.
of Compton!
Bro,
to
stop
Compton?
this, man. It's been like a 3-4 days straight. That's all you got to say.
I haven't talked about it for a few days, so I'm actually pretty hyped to talk about it
All
right
right,
now.
go ahead. When I go to New Hampshire, I'm going to have the same energy.
You would never go to New Hampshire.
You're
Yes,
from
I
New
will.
Hampshire?
I heard they have good clam chowder.
You're shook.
I like clam.
I don't think I've ever been to the state of New Hampshire.
Many people
nothing
would
there
agree
with Josh.
with you with that. Yeah, it's almost like there's no reason to go there.
Not almost. There's literally no reason to go there.
I'll tell you why some rappers have been to New Hampshire before we start talking about me and my time spent in Compton. Basically, if you're like a New York City rapper, you know, there's like an array of different like cities and towns that you could play on the East Coast. And if your fan base is strong enough, you can play in Nashville, New Hampshire. Now, most rappers probably won't because
especially local, they just reach like Connecticut, like Toad's Place in Connecticut, and there's like one other one.
Right.
And then, but yeah.
But if you were really trying to spruce up your fan base, like I remember I used to see flyers and be like, damn, Hell Rel is playing in Nashua.
That's random as hell.
I was literally on his page today. That's also very random.
But when I think about it now, it's either like they're really ambitious and they really want to spread their fan base to New Hampshire, or they're just like down to do another show, even though they're not going to get paid as much as they probably got paid for all the other shows in their tour because there's going to be less people.
Yeah, I mean, a Hell Rel probably wasn't like filling rooms up completely. No disrespect to Hell Rel, Dipset forever, but
he's going to come for you for sure. He's going to definitely see this and come for you.
But you know, it's probably more along the lines of a promoter reached out and he's like, "Fuck it."
Why not?
That's a show.
Yeah, you get a show and as much as money as the other show, but fuck it. Maybe you could do the show in the same night, honestly.
Probably.
Like if you did an early show in New Hampshire, you could get to Connecticut to perform by like 10 p.m.
Yeah, you do a 10 and like a club appearance at 12:30 in Connecticut. Boom, done.
Anyway, New Hampshire, right? That's where you're not going to go because you're shook. No, but so okay. Basically, I was sued.
Okay.
And I was sued by a guy who was scammed in the year 2018.
There's so much happening already in this story.
And this is the kind of, like, just to explain this, I get DMs constantly. Anyone who actually watches this podcast probably already knows how this works.
Look this way, right?
No, just look at me.
I don't know what to do.
Be natural.
I feel so like
You don't have to freak out every time I glance at the camera. Just you look at us.
I'm giving them my back.
I never look at it.
Well, that is one thing you want to be cautious of is don't point your back at the fucking camera super crazy because some people will be like, AD, and then they'll be like this the whole time. And it's like, that camera is not.
You remind me of Humpback Chump.
She doesn't know who that is, so it's kind of a weird thing to throw in there. Okay, so I get sued. I get a notice in the mail that I'm being sued. What am I being sued for? I'm being sued by a guy who, in the year 2018, had someone hit him up on Twitter and tell him that he worked for Blueface and that he could get this guy a verse from Blueface. This guy ended up basically sending this dude $3,000 or so in order to get a Blueface verse.
$3,000 too much.
Well, I mean, at the time, it probably seemed like a good deal.
It's a great deal.
Great deal. And so then, years later, this comes to me, and I'm getting sued. And you might be wondering, Adam, why would you be getting sued for somebody who you don't know? I actually do know the person who scammed this guy, but I don't know him terribly well. It's like I would maybe call him, an acquaintance. Let's say that for the benefit
Do you
of
have
the
his
court.
phone number in your phone?
No.
Okay, so definitely not even that cool.
I am lying, but no, I don't have his phone number in my phone. I don't know him. I don't employ him.
Okay.
He's an acquaintance. Probably is probably the best way to. I've been acquainted with him, but this guy scams this dude, and then this dude basically decides that he needs to sue somebody to get his $3,000 back. So he's going to sue me because in his mind, this guy works for me. Now, this guy does not work for me. And
does he purport to work for you?
he, even in all of the conversation that I saw, never told this guy that he worked for No Jumper. And this was in the year 2018 when, realistically, this guy who I'm telling you I'm acquaintances with, I didn't even barely know this dude at all in 2018. So the idea that this, like, in any way was my fault is pretty baffling. And the idea that I had to go to court for
like,
it.
how did it get through? Like,
That's what I said. But I think my lawyers, like, missed the fact that there was, like, a Zoom possibility where I could have just handled this via Zoom. So the date passed on that. And basically I had to go to Compton. And I drive. That's backwards.
is it? Oh, yeah, it was left hand. No, but yeah, yep.
The other one.
Why?
Think about what the camera is seeing.
It's backwards both
There
ways.
you go.
Yeah.
You've been doing this a long time to not be able to figure that one out.
I've been doing it wrong
How
this
am, I
whole
better,
time.
how am I better at gangbanging than you already? I don't know.
One day in Compton, he thinks
yeah.
he's a fucking pro now.
I know Compton AD. I know Sad.
Who said this?
I mean, I could try to find you a picture of him. But just for people want to know what we're talking about right there, Kat Sachs, when she came in, her security looks right at me and says, I met you before. I'm homies with Compton AD.
Nice.
I don't know how to describe him or anything, but, you know.
Security looking person.
Whatever. You know a lot of unks. Anyway, so I drive to Compton, and I'm concerned for my safety. Not because it's Compton, but because this dude who's suing me, like, in my mind, is probably not all there.
And is he from Compton? I'm assuming while you're in Compton?
I don't know if he was from Compton, but wherever apparently he chose. I was thinking, I'm like,
Compton court.
did he choose to have me go to court in Compton because Compton is where he's the most tapped in and would be most capable of getting me offed on the way outside of the courthouse? I don't know.
Possibility.
Unsuccessful.
Definitely on the table.
Right. I mean, it seemed like a possibility. Anyway, so I drive to Compton and I park at AD's brother's spot, and we proceed to walk over.
Because he's very close to the court, I guess.
He was actually not far from the courthouse.
Allegedly.
Good
Allegedly. And we walk over. We get to the courthouse. We realize there's an insanely long line. I'm like kind of blown away.
I hate it always.
And especially because of COVID, everybody's kind of stretched out. But the good part is that apparently I'm very popular in Compton
I was
because
going to say, were you, like, do people...
all of a sudden we're having a fucking meet and greet in line. People are hyped. People are taking photos. We're having a good time. Like me and Kiki's talking about street shit with random dudes in line, talking about, well, these dudes got beat with these dudes and yada, yada, yada. And random dudes are just engaging with them like, oh, yeah, let's talk about that. We're having a great time.
So he's tapped in Compton, clearly.
But they won't let him in to the courthouse with me.
Got it.
Because of COVID and whatnot. So I have to go in myself. And,
Were you nervous though? When you had to
Going
go
in by
yourself?
myself?
Inside the courthouse, I
Keep
don't think
it G.
there's too much
No, you
to
can't be
worry
nervous
about.
in the courthouse because literally you go through a metal detector.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
What the hell does
outside
that
of the
mean?
courthouse that
I mean,
you
what,
should
you're going to
worry.
punch me in the face and then get tackled by
In
a bunch
front of the cops?
Yeah, in front of a bunch of sheriffs. Like, that's the worst. It's not like anything that bad. Nobody can shoot you or stab you in the court because you can't even get anything metal in there.
True.
In theory. I don't know.
Unless it's like up their ass.
Are you so tapped into the Compton courthouse that you walk around the metal detector? They're like, no, he cool.
I may or may not bought a sharp pen in there before.
This ain't no Jack Harlow show, bro. You can't sneak the blaming
Oh
in
my
there.
God.
Anyway, that wasn't Jack Harlow's show either, but we're going to talk about that. But anyway, so then I get in there, I go up, and there's like, maybe 8-10 people waiting around outside of the courtroom, right? And so I'm not even thinking. I'm not thinking that everybody waiting is like an old woman besides like one young black guy. I'm not even thinking about the fact that like this is obviously the dude because there's only one dude here, and probably
And it's not an old woman.
probably none of these like 50-year-old women are getting scammed for Blueface verses.
He's probably screaming at the screen right now.
Right, I know. I almost didn't want to talk about this, but
You little bitch.
gotta do
actually
it.
this is a wonderful story. I'm so intrigued.
I mean, it was a surreal experience. Literally, think about this. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do this.
to go to Compton to face a lawsuit.
I never have to wait
Blueface
over a Blueface verse
That you
over money that I never got. I had to pay my lawyers like over $1,000
Oh
to
my
prepare a letter, basically explaining why. If this happened to me again, I would not pay my lawyers to do that. I did not need.
copy and paste the letter.
I have this amazing letter that my lawyers put together explaining why I am not at fault. I did not have to bring it out. I said about 2 sentences while I was in the fucking courtroom. Anyway, so I'm sitting there. I'm on my phone. I got my mask on. And all of a sudden, it's just, hey, Adam, I just want to let you know, I don't got no problem with No Jumper. I was a fan of you.
I was.
But
Not no more, though.
or I am a fan of you. Honestly, I don't even think it was in the past tense. But he goes, yo peoples took money from me. And that shit ain't cool. Like, that really fucked up my life. Like, my whole life got fucked up. I almost became homeless.
For 3,000.
And I'm looking at him like, bruh, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Not only that, but don't spend your last $3K on a Blueface first.
I mean,
there's
dude,
better things to gamble on.
Sound
sir.
financial advice. I'm starting to think that you might be
UPS is hiring.
you might be a bastion of reason in this conversation. But you know, yeah, I'm like, he goes, no, but your people did. I go, that guy doesn't work for me.
Right.
I'm like, I can prove that he doesn't work for me. He goes, it's still your fault. Like that's your people's. I'm like, it's not my people's. What are you talking about? It's not my people's. I have nothing to do with it. And he's like, but I did this because I lost money. I did this
gotta pay.
because I lost money. And I'm like, you're wasting more money on this lawsuit.
For real.
You're not gonna win. Are you fucking retarded? You're not gonna. I'm screaming at him at this point in the fucking
Challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, retarded.
Laura said, "Don't say
word.
retarded." I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are you stupid? We're yelling at each other. I'm sure all these 50-year-old ladies.
Courthouse.
We're outside. We're right
Okay.
outside the fucking courtroom, and we're just yelling at each other. And every like bit like we'll yell at each other enough that he'll just go quiet and sit there for fucking 10 minutes, and then he'll think of something that he wants to say to me, and he'll just let me know like some more information. And I just keep telling him, I'm like, bro, you understand, you're going to have to convince the judge that I should pay you this money. It's not going to happen. Whatever. We get into the courtroom. The judge asks him, you know, basically like what happened. I know that I'm relatively skilled as a orator.
Yes.
I could talk. You know, I can get my point across reasonably well. This guy was babbling to the judge, not making any fucking sense. The judge is trying to figure out what this guy paid the $3,000 for. And at some point, it takes like 5 minutes before the name Blueface even comes out.
My God.
Never at any point did he use the word verse. He never said, I paid for a Blueface verse. Like, I could have, if I wanted to interject and help him, I could have explained this to
In
the
like
judge
1 minute.
in 30 seconds. I could have said, he paid the money because he wanted to do a song with Blueface. He thought that the guy was going to send him a verse of Blueface that he could then rap on so that he could further his music career. Boom. Judge would have understood it immediately. It was like 15 minutes of this guy trying to explain to the judge. And then finally, the judge figures it out and says to me, he says, so, Mr. And the whole time, my last name is Grand Mason, or some people say Gramazon.
Okay.
The whole time the guy was calling me Grand Meister. And I'm not like, you know, what am I going to do? I don't give a
Just at
fuck.
that point,
My
whatever.
goal is to
Hey,
not
just
get
see
out
this
and
judge
not- yeah.
ever
If he's
again.
agreeing with you, then go ahead. Call me
Exactly,
Grandmeister.
yeah.
Whatever it is, if I don't gotta pay, I'm all of those.
And
names.
by the time he calls me Mr. Grand Meister, it's like I've already been standing for like 15 minutes just watching this guy try to make his point to the judge, and it's so mind-blowing. And I'm just holding it in. I'm just standing there, just not saying anything, just thinking like, how did I become a part of this circus?
Is it an empty courtroom because of COVID as well?
It's just me, him, the judge,
That
the
would've been a
sheriff,
great show for
and
everybody.
some secretary woman on a
The
computer or whatever.
Grandmeister.
He says, Mr. Grindmeister, does this person work for you? I say, No, Your Honor, he's never worked for me. He turns to the guy. He's like, can you prove that this guy worked for Adam? His response was so babbling and so nonsensical. He ends up literally taking these pieces of paper where it's tweets from random people saying the dude's name and saying like, I saw this guy at Adam 22's store, or like, I saw this guy filming something outside of Adam 22's store. Like he just literally put this person's name and my name in Twitter and searched.
Pulled all the tweets.
And the judge is like having a hard time wrapping his head around the fact that anyone is even suggesting this. The judge is like, you know, this is hearsay, and it's not even like hearsay. It's like 4 levels of hearsay. Like, this doesn't prove anything. This is just random people, and these people aren't even saying that this guy worked for you. They're just saying that he was at your
circumstantially here at the same time.
Is mind blowing, and you know, like I don't even know if I had to say another thing to the judge. But by the end of this, it probably takes 20, 25 minutes maybe. By the end of this, the guy's basically crying. He's stuttering. He's stuttering like crazy.
I actually feel bad for this poor
I
guy.
did too. And that's why I didn't like go in on him. And I'm like, even right now, not really like being mean or whatever, because I understand that he had his life fucked up and he's just trying to do anything he could to fix the situation. And I even told the guy when I was arguing with him out there, like he, at one point, he doesn't say anything for like 10 minutes. And he says to me like, Adam, you could have done something for me. You could have gave me this guy's information. You could have even just gave me a little bit of money for my pain and suffering. I said, I'm going to explain something to you. I will spend every last dollar I have before I give you a fucking nickel.
Word.
I'm like,
the fuck?
I will gladly spend $20,000 just so that you don't get the $3,000 that you're suing me for. I'm like, I will do anything
Mr. Grandmeister.
to not have to pay you. He goes, that don't even make no sense. I go, it does make sense, because if I give in and give you money and let you scam me, then I got to let everybody scam me.
Then the system wins.
I'm like, I'm going to keep showing up at Compton 8:30 in the morning if y'all want to keep suing me, because this is not... The fact when I told him I will spend $20,000 to not have to give you $2,000, to me, that's common sense. Of course, you don't want to let somebody exploit you.
Yeah, exactly.
And to him, that looked like a knife in the heart, because he realized in that moment that I was never going to give him money. Even if the judge ordered me to give him money, it's not happening.
You should have given him $500 on a Snicker bar. Tell him to go on his way.
Listen, I'm not giving this dude shit ever, because you're trying to scam me for some money I never even saw. And let's keep in mind, like, okay, if this was Laura, if Laura scammed him, I'm gonna give you your money back just to obviously Laura wouldn't do that.
Laura wouldn't do that.
If you did, you work for me. Like I can
actual
see
fact,
how it's
yeah.
my fault in some weird way, because I gave the email address of a reputable organization to somebody who's scamming. Then I could see how I could be.
You empowered the scam.
And I still don't think that I would actually be found guilty in court, but I think the right thing to do if it was somebody who actually worked for me would just be like, all right, here's your $3,000. I'm sorry for your hard times, and then you fire the person who scammed him. You know, that would make sense to me. That's not what happened. This is just a guy who scammed you before I even fucking knew him. Anyway, so then
wait, did you ever have a conversation with the guy that scammed him? Like, fam, what are you out here doing?
I did. I hit him up,
okay,
and I said, just so you know, this is what I'm going to court for. And,
that guy should pay you.
And he was like really apologetic, and he was like, bro, like I'll pay your fucking legal fees. I had no idea that you had to dealing with this or whatever. And I was like, honestly, I can't bring myself to be mad at this guy, because he didn't do almost anything involving me. Number one, it happened basically before I knew him. I think I had probably met him at that point, but I hadn't had anything close to like a relationship or a friendship, whatever. Number two, he never said he was scamming for a No Jumper interview or any kind of promotion with No Jumper. Me and AD recently had a bunch of beef with somebody because this dude met us and then was scamming people, saying that he could get him a No Jumper interview.
I seen another one this weekend too.
Really?
I have a girl saying she can get people interviews and articles on Hip Hop DX.
Bangs.
But did you like ask him, why did you scam? Like, why didn't he get this Metaverse?
No, I didn't ask him why he scammed him, because I know why he scammed me. I know he probably just wanted
stupid.
$3,000 and he just fucking, just
Clearly
seemed like a good opportunity. I can't be mad at somebody just for scamming someone, and meanwhile I know them. Like if this guy worked for me or was like granted, like knowing that you scam somebody, I mean,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to bring him into your organization.
maybe if we were planning on hiring him, I would have to say like, bro, you can't be doing anything like this if we're gonna hire you, et cetera, et cetera. This is just not that situation at all. It was completely unrelated. But anyway, so I walk out of the courtroom before the fucking guy, right? And I just go to the bathroom and I pee. I'm in there for like 2 minutes. I come out and the sheriff is waiting for me, and the sheriff's like, hold up.
Oh, dude,
he's just like, just hold up. Like, he's like, don't. And I look over and I see the guy walk into the elevator and he looks upset.
Oh my God.
Like triggered, like really, I don't know. And I just say to the sheriff, I'm like, what happened? He's like, it got a little heated. And I was like, okay, I will definitely stand here with you and wait for this guy to take the elevator down. By the time that I got down there and Kiki was waiting outside for me, the guy was already long gone. But yeah, it was pretty.
Thank the Lord he didn't run to my brother.
It was a weird way to spend a Friday morning. I didn't want anyone to hit him or do anything like that. I just wanted to,
not pay and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, and I mean, then we just came here. Actually, and the best part was I got to introduce your brother Kiki to my mom and my baby.
Your mom and baby.
And I haven't even met your mom and baby yet. Crazy.
And you never will. I brought him to the crib, like to my house.
After.
And he got to meet my mom, and my mom like really liked him, and they hit it off pretty good. And yeah, he got to play with the baby and stuff. I took a photo of them together. Everybody thought it was LeBron. It was pretty cute.
Everybody was saying that too.
Yeah, he does have a.
It's like your brother's LeBron James. I'm like, huh?
He doesn't look like LeBron, but he has LeBron vibes.
LeBron energy.
He kind of he favors LeBron.
Okay.
He can star in a Space Jam spinoff if you wanted to.
But I got to learn a lot more about Kiki during that, just from talking in the car the whole time and stuff. I feel like I learned a lot more about what his life has been like.
He's a good guy, man. Fresh out of prison, man, and no jumper changed his life. He love y'all.
He told me the story about what happened to his football career, basically involving somebody banging on him and him having to while the fuck out.
Yep.
I'm trying to convince him to become a YouTuber, bro. I'm like that story right there. You tell that story in 10 minutes worth of detail, you got a gas YouTube video right there.
He has a lot of stories too, especially teaching me how to fight as a young kid.
Right. I was telling him,
up.
I told him, I'm like, I was like, the only complication is like, if you're going to be a YouTuber and like a street YouTuber, you got to be a little careful about, what you talk about and stuff. You got to make that decision because obviously, you know people, like people know you. You're still in the hood. You still like, could have to make those decisions. He goes, I don't give a fuck. He's like, I'm going to say exactly how I feel.
Okay.
I'm like,
It's real.
I believe that you think that's a good idea right now, but going forward, you might not necessarily think that's as good an idea.
I told him about that too, though. I was like, be mindful and worry. We're going to get you out of certain places, and then you can do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to move to the valley.
Yeah, get him out of Compton before he's out there telling stories and shit.
I bring him like every week I bring him places that he just be like, oh shit, like, because for me, when people was bringing me around places and taking me overseas and stuff, that motivated me to get some money. I was like, I don't want to be in the hood no more. Fuck that. For real.
Yeah. You take that for granted. Once you've been around,
Dog, hell
you
yeah.
really take it for granted how much you could change somebody's life by just putting them on some game,
Just a plane flight though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of my homies, I bought him a hotel in Vegas. The shit cost me $130. And the joy in his face,
Just
like
seeing how that shit is the best.
I got my own room. He's in there dancing, making TikToks. I didn't even know he had a TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, if I could do that with $131 and change somebody's perspective.
For real, like literally changing their lives because
Mm-hmm.
you're introducing them to a whole new energy that they've never experienced.
But I feel like those
So
kind of dudes,
awesome.
you get them a hotel room, and then all of a sudden they're buying like a pint of alcohol, and they're blackout drunk, and they're passed out on the fucking
Nah,
balcony.
'cause they
It's about who you
but
bring.
they can't really afford it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I remember me, like, I didn't go to no Hollywood clubs, and like the reason why like me and OT are so close was that was the first person that took me to a Hollywood hotel. I was at the Roosevelt eating fries, and I'm like, this is nice, and invited me the next day and taking me to certain clubs. I'm like, why is this nigga so nice to me? I'm used to everybody, you know
Being
what I'm
out
saying?
for self and-
Yeah, and
just wanted to pay you
being
for dick.
grimy. Oh my god.
What? No,
He
really?
had $30 on him. So what's up?
30, 75.
Except my bad.
Does that make you look different? If you were considering a relationship with AD, would you be upset about the fact that
Why
he used to
relationship
sell?
with me?
I'm just saying, like hypothetically, as a woman,
Right.
if you find out like
He was selling dick.
Yeah.
Probably would.
That would
look
hurt
down.
his
Yeah.
chances.
Yeah, I wouldn't really.
Huh?
fuck
It's
with it.
experience.
maybe you should stop telling everyone.
It's experience.
It's just like, where was your head to like allow that vibe. I don't know. I don't think I.
His
I don't,
head was
I
in
don't
Rancho
judge.
Cucamonga along with the rest of his body.
Like I would like be friends with you. I just as a dating preference, it wouldn't really work for me.
But it's a redemption story, a rehabilitated man.
Redemption song.
I don't believe in it. No, I don't.
You don't believe in redemption?
I do in a sense, but there's like something in the person that's in you that chose to do that would like. There's still a piece.
If
of
you
in
sold
it.
pussy, he would forgive you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't sell pussy either. So.
But there's a shitload of girls out here or rehabilitated pussy sellers that guys are wifing up, right?
I know some old hoes that are not hoes anymore.
Oh yeah,
and it's totally cool that there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's a personal preference for me.
But as a guy, it is the most fascinating thing in the world. You ever just log onto your Facebook and you just start like scrolling through? I never look at my Facebook, but when I do, I see all these girls who were the biggest sluts in 2011. And now they have kids and
husbands,
and I'm just
they
like
have family photos.
And I'm not thinking anything bad about them at all. I'm just kind of
so
like,
funny to see the
it's so bizarre to see the change when you didn't watch it incrementally.
Oh yes.
Like in my mind, it's like you were literally like sucking dick in the bathroom at the bar.
Facts.
And now it's the next day and you have 3 kids and you
they're
work
into
at the church.
hella into God, bro.
People can change.
They got dream chasers, no catchers. What are those things? Not dream chasers.
Dream what?
They have the dream chasers in their house.
They got me coming over for the weekends for gangbangs. They haven't changed totally.
Hey, and for the record, I wasn't a real prostitute because that's how Adam was trying to say.
I make it sound so much worse than it is because you love it.
I'm thinking now I'm on Backpage or something.
Like,
you love it.
Like you got
She's
some money
like,
out of bitch back in the
he
day?
used to. Yeah, I was just, I had to use what I had.
Did you have a pimp?
That's a Cali thing.
I tried to
feel
pimp
like.
for one day.
Did you have a pimp to help you supply your dick to other people? You needed like a third party, right?
I tried to pimp and I figured out the same day I was like, I don't have the heart for this.
Really?
Yeah, I care too much about people. I'm like, I don't want to put you through the ringer. I just gave it up.
But so you could forgive a guy for selling crack, potentially killing all these people, causing devastation for his community, but you can't forgive him for throwing on a Magnum and putting his dick in a 400-pound woman?
Facts, yeah. I could definitely forgive somebody for selling drugs.
That's just because selling drugs is considered cool in our society.
It's not even that it's considered cool, but it's like they're not intentionally going out there to harm these people. It's a side effect and it sucks.
Oh,
but like,
come on. If you're selling crack, you know what you're doing.
I mean, maybe crack is a
Well,
little...
your people bought it to us.
Oh, not my people. I don't know who did that.
The grindmeisters of the
It had
world.
nothing to do with me.
I don't even know anyone personally that ever sold crack, so I can't...
I do.
I
can't speak to
guarantee.
that.
If you listed off your sex partners right now, if you wrote them down, I could go through and be
Someone
like,
is
he sold
potentially
crack,
sold
he
crack.
sold crack.
There might be a couple.
Damn.
I listen to the lyrics more than you probably. I think
Yeah,
a girl
but, like,
skim over the crack selling.
I haven't had sex with that many rappers, and the ones I have are like super intentional. Like I chose them because like
They didn't sell crack.
No, because I was like in love since a kid kind of thing, and I think most of them have been rapping since so young that they probably never sold crack.
Wait, so the rappers you have chosen to sleep with
This is old shit, by the way.
were like ones that you were like looking up to?
Oh yeah. Like I literally probably only had sex with like 3 or 4.
Like LL?
Not LL. That was like beyond my generation.
Whoa.
I went to
I'm the
high
king
school
of rock.
in 01 to 05, so we're talking like in that era. But yeah, I had one like literally wall-to-wall posters, like dated men in college that looked like him. Like a
I
bum
got
at
somebody in
McDonald's.
mind.
Oh man.
I'm never gonna answer, so you could guess all day. And
Bow
No,
Wow.
no. We're not trying to guess the actual sex
Yeah.
partner.
I am.
No, but have
Bow
you-
Wow.
okay.
Oh my God. He probably comes up to my titty.
Let me ask you how you feel about this. If you're dating a girl and then you find out that, because every now and then you realize that a girl is willing to kind of like use their pussy as a passport, in the sense of you wouldn't normally be able to go backstage or kick it with blank rapper, but
If you fuck them.
you're a pretty girl,
Yeah.
and you can slide in this guy's DMs, and realistically, he might just be down to have you come through or whatever. And every now and then, you realize that, and I don't think girls usually stay that way for long, but I feel like a lot of girls like to at least experiment at some point in their life about basically being able to get into a social situation that they would never be able to get into normally through the power of handing some pussy over.
I mean, in those terms, no. But it's like, yeah, if you grow up loving somebody, right, and you want to fuck them, obviously, he's on my wall because he looks good.
Bow Wow.
Yes, of course, it's Bow Wow. You found me out. So if he's on my wall because he looks good, it's like, why wouldn't I want to then go and fuck him and fuck with him and hear these stories from him and fucking get to be a part of that shit? Like,
Steal some shit.
no.
Take a watch.
I don't think I would.
Take a Gucci shirt.
I don't think I'd want any any of those things. But
Wrinkled ass Gucci shirt on the ground. Put that on Grail for $200.
that was my other thing too, is I've always worked in this industry aside from being in those situations. So it's like I never wanted to put myself in a situation where I'm being questionable and I'm, I literally just fucked them because I wanted to fuck them and I could. Like the same way guys have IG model bitches they want to fuck. Like,
I mean, for guys to act like we look at girls like aspirationally fucking a rapper and to act like we're any better, we'll hand dick to any girl who's remotely good looking, and realistically, a lot of times if she's not, it's not even in question.
Like,
we all know it.
Y'all got bitches that y'all fuck that it's like, you'd never wife her, but she's going to be a good motherfucking time.
Well, I'll tell you something about us. We're both in relationships, so...
Allegedly.
You've definitely fucked a lot of bitches in the past that you weren't going to be with. And it's the same thing. Like, I know I'm not going to date a fucking rapper. I want to fucking go apple picking. I want to decorate my home for every single holiday. Like, I'm that person. I wear cherry earrings and shit. Like, I'm a dork.
You got to aim low if you want to find a guy who's going to apple pick with you. Because a lot of these rappers, they don't have an apple picking schedule,
exactly. I don't even
know what apple picking is.
It's literally picking an apple from a tree.
Have you heard of cow tipping?
No.
That's different. That's destructive and illegal.
It's illegal?
I mean, you going
I never did it. I always wanted to.
It's like the equivalent of tipping somebody's car.
Do you actually tip a cow?
The cows are sleeping. You just push them over.
That's not funny. That's animal cruelty.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't get hurt. They just get ruffled.
Push them to the ground.
He's from that part of Compton where they torture cows.
All right, I don't want to go to that part of Compton ever.
I mean, we don't even have no cows in Compton.
Oh, I beg to differ. I kicked it with the Compton Cowboys. They had horses. There was probably a cow around the corner.
Nigga, I was with you.
Yes, I know. And you had slides on, and he got reprimanded. One of his hood OGs told him to stop hanging out wearing slides and shit because gangsters don't wear slides.
Oh, all right.
You can wear slides, but like
around the crib.
Around the crib
in like very cozy scenarios.
But that was a DMX quote. DMX said, "I don't even wear flip flops in the crib. I don't ever feel that comfortable."
Because in a
flip flops, nobody should be wearing.
No, because in a real fight, no, you got slides,
Yes,
but in a real fight though, you're going to get your ass whooped because them slides going to keep you off balance. That's why.
Oh yeah. You don't want that.
Never something I've had to prepare for. So.
Or even being like barefoot. I would never leave the house barefoot.
White people.
You ever been to like a beachside place or whatever? You ever go to like a beach town or like a little island town or whatever?
Or just a white town in the summer.
You go to Tulum, motherfuckers
walking around with no
shoes.
Off in Tulum.
Yeah, but you're from Compton.
What does that mean? You wear
City
shoes.
of Compton.
You wear slides.
We don't wear no sandals.
I know, but see the thing is, I don't want to get cut by nothing in the street. That's the only reason why. If there was no glass in the world, then I'll be walking around barefoot.
That's your thought? That you're barefoot. Okay, I was like, I thought it was slides. You're not gonna fucking get glass. Okay.
No, definitely walking around barefoot, and also even the worst thing is when the ground is hot.
Oh, I hate
That's
that.
The worst.
Oh, the ground is lava.
Yeah.
Especially in Miami, you go to the beach.
Oh my God, the sand, everything. Oh my Jesus. Yeah. No.
Do you think the beach is worth it?
No, beach is overrated.
Going to the beach, you don't think it's worth it?
I hate the beach.
For the kids, I like taking the kids to the beach, but I hate the beach personally.
I don't like sand. Take me to a lake. Not even. I don't even know what. Take me to a fucking forest. I prefer trees.
A forest. It sounds like places to hide a body.
Sounds like places to get killed.
A forest.
I want to go to a jungle or some shit. I don't like
tropical places.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, there we go.
You like that?
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
I mean, the beach is just kind of problematic. There's a lot of sand. There's a shitload of people. Like, if you want to go to Malibu on any given weekend here, like, if you try to drive to Malibu on a Saturday morning, you will quickly realize that every other person in LA have the same idea.
Oh my God, you're sitting in traffic forever on the whatever Pacific shit that is.
But the eat over there is fire though.
The restaurants?
No, the eat. They're all the restaurants with the water.
They're nice, but that's the restaurant. That's not the beach.
I hate the beach.
Shit is trash.
I don't understand you hate it that much though. I like it. I love going to the beach. It's just like there's a lot of things that are pains in the ass about the beach that almost make the beach not seem worth it. But like you're just really not in control of your temperature at the beach.
It's very hot. Like I would choose a pool over a beach.
You have the beach part where you're probably like too hot, and then you have the water that is so cold that you kind of don't want to go in.
Ice fucking cold. The ocean on this side of the coast is ass.
You know what? Our beaches are dirty out here. That's probably why too.
Hell yeah. Like
Dockwater Beach, bro. Like I done seen so many.
I went to a bonfire there once. That was cool.
That's bad though.
I fuck with.
And all the bonfires back then used to get shot the fuck up too. Nice. All the fucking time.
It did. I was with Machine Gun Kelly and like a bunch of fans, so I don't
think at Dockwater Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, mind blown. That's crazy.
It's like 2014 Grammy weekend.
I'm triggered because now you're reminding me of how AD didn't protect me when MGK slapped my hand at Rolling Loud.
I didn't know you.
Did he really? Wait, MGK slapped your hand?
I
love him.
didn't even know him then.
That's not true. You were making me throw up Crip gang signs then.
In 2014?
2019 at
Damn,
Rolling Loud.
2 years
Oh
ago?
yeah. That was different.
He wasn't there, so it's kind
Did
of
you talk about him and he was pissed, or what happened?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he just really didn't feel like a lot of different things that I had to say about his rap career, which coincidentally, like, pretty much seems like he left his rap career
He
behind.
did not.
So.
He's gonna rap again.
He
but
does
he's
rock.
experimenting with different sounds. I think that should be celebrated.
But he's doing so well.
He's doing insanely well, a
Right.
level that he never saw yet. So
Well, that's kind of my
yeah,
point,
I
is
know.
that his rap never really.
And I told you hate white people.
I'm more critical of white people.
You got
I mean,
beef.
I would say I am too, but I think he's like the real fucking deal. Like, he really cares about the fucking art and not like the fuck shit.
I
That's
really
why
have
like
nothing
him.
against him as a person. I just really like hated his music as a rapper and felt that that was an okay thing to talk about. And I don't really
mean,
like.
it is okay if
I
that's
don't
how you
feel
feel.
bad about ever saying it. Like, I still because when we got into
He's
that
super
altercation,
skilled though. How would you not like his music?
Yeah, isn't he fucking fire, bro?
Rapping wise, lyrics wise.
name a song.
What you mean? Wild Boy. There you go.
Wow,
Hey, you said name one.
Yeah,
Till I Die
love,
is a
love,
good
love Wild Boy. That was a good one.
Till I Die is a good song. That's what goes up in
And
the
Laura
club.
shouldn't like him because he dissed her favorite Eminem.
But this is the thing,
Oh.
and me. But this is the thing, is that I don't have anything against his music or whatever, but and I don't have anything against him as a person. I would love to like squash the shit or whatever.
would love
but
that too, Steve
but this
Raw.
is the thing. Have you ever heard anyone in rap talk about the fact that he stopped rapping and moved over to pop punk? Because I've never seen anyone in the rap industry, in the rap media world, have a conversation about this because nobody liked his raps.
I don't think it's that. I think it's
Nobody misses him.
but a lot of artists are experimenting, so I feel like people just look at it as that.
And his experimentation has gone very well. He saw a genre that basically was like empty. There's
Completely,
there's
yeah.
no popular pop punk bands basically, even though that style of music I think is still viable. People clearly like it.
Clearly, it's viable.
Yes, and he's doing very well with it. I'm just saying that, like, can you think of any other rapper that could basically like stop rapping and start making pop punk songs and have it basically be a non-issue? If
Trippie Red.
I
just did
think
a
because
rock
he's
album.
white is different.
Trippie Redd puts out rap albums, for the record. I mean, it's not like he puts out sort of weird and like spaced out, and he definitely experiments with different genres, but it's still rap music.
Bro.
And the fact that he's white, you're right, is why
If
nobody
white
really.
people do white shit, they're not going to be celebrated for that shit. Like,
yeah.
they expect a white person to go join rock or do punk shit. Like when Lil Wayne did it, it's like Lil
yeah,
Wayne is
Wayne
doing
did
a
a whole
fucking.
album.
He's doing a fucking rock album, or like when Snoop did a reggae album, they're like reggae, or
For the
when
re- but-
Snoop did a gospel album, they're
Wayne,
like gospel.
Wayne did a rock album that everybody hated
That
in
was
rap,
ass. It
and
was
then
ass.
everybody now looks at it like, wow, that was so influential, and he was such a pioneer of that style.
Nobody fucked with that album when he put that bitch out.
Not the
That
least
shit
of which was me.
ass.
I had a friend who he drove from New York to Austin to meet up with us on this road trip, and when he gets there, he's like, "Man, I didn't have nothing to listen to except the Lil Wayne rock album. I listened to it like 15 times in a row." I'm like, that sounds like actual hell.
Yeah,
I can't
it's a
believe you
horrible
did
car
that.
ride. Yeah, that album was ass. But no, I feel like Kel's like, I don't know.
Oh, Kelza, you guys are on a super close
No,
basis.
yeah, because I'm super tight with his best friend, so I used to always hang out with him a lot.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think he's raw.
Wrong?
Raw.
Raw.
Yeah.
I never
like
had
I
anybody
said-
on the podcast who said stuff like raw. That's cool.
Really? I feel like I use that word all the time. But I don't know. Like I really genuinely appreciate meeting rappers or artists that actually really give a fuck about what they're doing and the art and the visual. He fucking puts so much into the visuals and everything. He really puts a lot of thought into shit, and I really fucking like that. Like a lot of these people just want to get rich, which is cool too. I like this shit because I like the artistry of it, so I fuck with him fucking with it.
I hate art. Want nothing to do with it.
Nice.
Grandmeister.
Meister, the Grand Meister. So you smoke weed.
I smoke a lot of weed, yeah.
A lot of weed.
Not a lot. That sounds extra.
I would like you to know that my partner Harry D is allergic to weed.
No, I'm
Really?
not.
Hell. He's got serious issues with weed.
That blows.
It makes me just go to sleep.
It landed him in the hospital.
But you know what? That's
Oh
what
my-
that's what edibles do for me. I can't. Edibles do
Oh,
not
edibles.
work. They don't make me high though. I could take like 100, 200. It'll just make me go to sleep, but I will not get high. off
No,
edibles.
edibles make me go to the hospital.
I
think I'm
feel
having a heart
like
attack.
edibles get me more of like real high. Like
I love
it's a
my
real
edible
high.
high.
When I even
Yes.
eat a couple of those gummies, the difference, and I love smoking a blunt on top of it for sure. But it's a different thing. Like eating just a little bit of edibles, it feels like you have this more like full
like your
body
like your
high.
whole body.
I don't
is
like
high
body
and you're,
highs
floating.
at all.
But it's like I don't know.
It's a
man.
full like hum to your
Yeah,
body where it's, your
dog.
body's kind of warm and relaxed. Whereas a lot of times when you smoke a blunt, you feel like
Nope.
you're
Like
just
right
sort of
here,
blasting it into
yeah.
your brain,
Yep.
and you feel like that kind of high, but it's not quite the same. And like
I'm so glad I've never had this talk, and that's exactly how I feel.
I
about
used to be
edibles.
a coward like him and say that I would not do edibles and that I was scared of edibles. Not anymore. Not
I'm a
fan.
coward because I don't want to smoke it. I mean, eat
Took you a
edibles.
while to catch up on that. I thought you were going to be like, oh, right away. Instead,
Nah.
he took too many
It
edibles.
makes me really sad though, because I started smoking weed only in 2018, and it was because actually it was like Tory Lanez had a release party or something, and they had like free edibles. That was like their table. So I took a bunch because I was trying to be on a diet and not drink alcohol, and I didn't take any weed at all at the time, and never did.
That
edibles.
logic. I'm not drinking alcohol right now, so I'm going to eat a fuckload of weed
No,
brownies
but
and
it
die in
was
this
little.
club.
It was little itty bitty gummies, and like it was
Ah.
like 10 milligrams or whatever in a little thing. So I'm like, cool, 2 of them. I'm out of here. I'm lit. So I ate that shit, and it was like the most euphoric high I've ever. I literally felt like the house, because the house was like a 90s style. I felt like I transported back to the 90s. I went in a whole different room by myself, away from the whole party. I was vibing the fuck out, and then it got me into weed and shit. But last year, like top of 2020. Literally just stopped working, all edibles. I have no idea what my body did, but
You don't think they get you high anymore?
they don't. They literally do not get me high. Like I said, I could eat a bunch and all it'll do is make me sleepy. I will not get high at all.
Wow.
I don't understand what happened.
See, I feel like that with mushrooms. I get that type of feeling.
Oh, mushrooms are the shit.
Yeah, that's cool. I fuck with that shit.
That shit is fucking beautiful. I've had some crazy. I left myself a 90-minute voice note once on shrooms, like my higher self talking to my inner child,
What?
breaking down hella shit. That shit was the littest trip.
I
ever.
don't want to be that high.
No, it's great. I literally like solved problems. It was great.
I feel like, okay, I did that Sada Baby podcast when we were on mushrooms.
Uh-huh.
We started talking about a bunch of shit that I would have never dreamed. We started talking about what it would be like if there was a separate NBA for just the white guys.
A concept.
Which, like, on mushrooms actually kind of made it sound like a good idea.
There's a
like,
conversation
clearly
there.
these guys are having a hard time competing. Maybe we just gotta. I mean, they do guys and
Just like they have
girls.
women's leagues,
The
exactly.
I mean, and I don't want to put those, like, you know, much respect to Chris Mullen and shit, but like, I just don't, like, maybe there really is, like, if we could, like, physically, prove that, like, these white
Wasn't
guys
Larry
are.
Bird like a great one though?
He was great, but
I only know him
I
from
mean, when
Space
you
Jam.
take Larry Bird and you put him next to MJ and Magic Johnson, all the guys that were the greatest at his time, I don't think he really, like.
I literally can't hold a combo about this except that. But
I wonder if there's, like, can we prove that Larry Bird was an example of white privilege and that he actually was, like, really overhyped?
No, he was
Very subpar.
Was he lit?
He got the accolades though. He was good.
but he might have gotten the but no, you have to like actually do things to get.
I
the
mean, when you
accolades.
win championships, he won a lot of championships.
but with a team, no.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So
With a
it's
team of black guys.
But he was the star of the team.
right.
because he's white.
Because he's white. They gave him that star position because he's
Yeah,
white.
so
The
you're not-
WBA.
Systematic. the
I think
WBA.
it's systemic, isn't it? Not systematic.
It can be both.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like
I'm not
it's
woke enough.
systemic.
I don't know. But that's just like an example of, like, you know, me and Sada Baby, we're gangsters, hard asses. All of a sudden we're talking about all this weird shit. I was like, that's the power of mushrooms, though.
Yo,
you know?
shrooms
like-
are fire. That's the biggest drug I've done. I'm scared to do anything else.
Really?
But yeah. I've actually I only
Ask
even
him that.
what drugs you've done.
I did meth
You've done meth.
one time.
And how do you take meth? What do you do?
I was with a girl that was seeing at the time, psychopathic porn star, and she
Okay, that tracks already.
we were trying to find, like, Molly, I think, and this is back before I met my girl or anything, and she at some point in the night we're already, like, really drunk and we're trying to find Molly or Coke or something, and she sort of holds her hand out and she got these little rocks in there, and I'm like, that's Molly, and she's like, no, and like I don't know if she, like, specifically
Use the
said
word.
it's meth. But either way, she was just like, no, it's great and it makes sex way better. And that's all I really needed to hear.
would've did it.
At that point, it's like, okay, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, I already know that we're going home fucking for some inordinate amount of time off of all this alcohol we already consumed. And, you know, it's weird. Like, when you really, really want to do drugs and somebody just offers you some different drug and tells you that's just the same as the drug you were looking for, it's like, well, what the fuck?
And you're also inebriated, so there's a level of not giving a fuck already.
Yeah. But that was like, it sort of led to me realizing that she was doing this stuff all the time.
So but it's a pill, so you take the pill?
Yeah, but then I recall later in the night that we ended up, like, breaking it down and snorting it as well.
One time I saw in a threesome, the girl. I mean, this is like vanilla shit, I guess, but like the girl like licked Sometimes I think it was just coke though, off his dick.
Probably coke.
Yeah.
She
that
licked
was like
it
the
off?
most exciting thing I've ever seen, I guess.
Snort a line off the.
Yeah, maybe snorted. I don't remember. I know he did something.
So
No,
you're out here just doing threesomes all the time, huh?
Not anymore. Honestly, actually, I just made 1 year no sex, which is crazy. Not even on some like holy roller shit at all. It just literally happened that way.
Why?
Because I had like a little roster of like 3 guys that I've been fucking for the last few years or whatever. And I mean, you know, like you have a couple, like when you're bored, you hit a couple people up. What? Not a couple. Like
I
you
used to
know.
have a roster.
Yeah.
It was loosely organized, and I was forgetting who was on it all the time. But yeah.
Mine was like 2 people really, and it was just one was like somebody I really cared for, so it was always on and off, and the other guy was just if I wanted a cool crazy night, I might hit him up. And but yes, so like April of last year, I had like this crazy awakening. Shrooms were part of it, and I just kind of like really figured out a lot of why I did a lot of shit. I never really knew why I was doing shit. I was just doing. I knew I liked it, but I couldn't figure out certain shit and just whatever. And I figured out a lot of shit. I'm like, none of these guys fucking me like deserve this shit. Like I'm so fired, dog. Like they literally don't deserve my pussy anymore. So I stopped fucking them. In COVID, I didn't go out anywhere, so I didn't meet anyone else. And here I am 1 year later. Dry as a fucking Sahara Desert.
It's time to crack it open.
What's your plan for cracking it open? I know this guy Brian Pumper.
No way. Absolutely not.
I had to try.
Doesn't he have like HIV or something?
I don't know.
There was like a rumor about that.
Yeah, but there was also a video of him taking an HIV test in his car.
I bet there was. You like anywhere in LA you go around, you might see Brian Pumper on like
For
a random
sure.
day.
I think mostly in jail now. But
Is he in jail?
we saw a video of him getting arrested, and we haven't heard anything since. And at some point, somebody who was a fan, and maybe people watching this can follow up on this, but they went and searched and found evidence on the LA court records that he was basically locked up for
Prostitution?
sexual charges of sorts. I'm not sure exactly what, but maybe I can interview him in prison.
That would be lit. Wasn't he
don't
going
think he
around
likes
trying to
you.
get bitches
I don't
in
think he likes
pornos
me
and
either.
shit?
Yeah, he was the king of that. Yo, when I asked Kat Stex about Brian Pumper, she goes, I remember that name. She's like, I don't remember who it was. I remember that name. I'm like, damn, you just like, I spent months researching Brian Pumper.
Bro, I used to see him with girls on chains. He would come to Playhouse, bro.
Yo, he's a strange individual.
It's crazy.
But that's what like your manager Punt said. He's like, Brian Pumper used to have the baddest bitches. I'm like,
Yes, bro.
not no more.
Cracking eggs over heads. Remember that?
Yes.
Cracking an egg on the head.
Shout out to Brian Pumper.
If he is in jail for the rest of his life, he'll like remember that he spent his like last days on the street or last years on the street,
Pop
basically
locking?
at the laundromat, meeting any random ass girl. Don't matter if she weighed 300 pounds. Put her on the leash, take the photos, crack an egg on her head. You never see her again.
That was like his shtick.
That's just what you would
Leash and
always.
eggs.
You would always
Crack an egg
see
on the
that.
head.
But also,
Whatever works
I
for
have
him.
like good information to suggest that the Instagram and Twitter that I follow of Brian Pumper are not really him.
Does he follow
So
you
it's
back?
somebody purporting to be Brian Pumper?
Yeah.
Or it's someone close to him that's running it for him?
But I don't know if I ever told you this. Back in the day, this is the only time Brian Pumper ever responded to me. This is when my girl first blew up. You probably do not recall, but my girl basically blew up at first because she had a little YouTube channel and had a couple of videos going viral of just her talking about house shit or whatever. And then she made a video that said, me and my boyfriend will drop a sex tape if I hit 1 million subscribers. Boom, it goes
Nice.
so
So
viral.
easy.
Were you the boyfriend?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
And then so it ends up on every fucking blog. Like this, the idea of a girl being willing to like make a sex tape for 1 million subscribers like blew people's minds. And what's
Wow,
crazy,
how times have changed.
there was
huh?
another girl who me and her actually had a threesome with who had blown up and got like 700,000 subscribers right before that from saying the same thing.
Good for them.
And that was actually really awkward because that girl kind of like got mad at my girl. Like, you went viral for the same exact thing. Like, and then they sorted it out and we all fucked. But
Beautiful ending, huh?
either way, it was around that time where my girl was blowing up from that. And Brian Pumper tweeted out for some reason, like, I don't know why y'all tripping. This Lena the Plug girl ain't got no star power. And I responded to him.
Hater.
And in retrospect, I'm not sure that this was the real Brian Pumper that I was talking to. It certainly could have been a fake, like the one that I currently follow, I think. And I said, I'm like, damn, Brian, I looked up to you. How you gonna do me like this?
You sound like the guy who's at court with you.
I did. I just wanted to get a wholesome response. And Brian Pumper responded, or whoever's pretending to be him responded and said, like, It's all good, bro. Get your money. You're gonna be all right, or some like
sounds like a Brian
some
Pumper
super
response.
generic thing. And I don't know. It was pretty mind blowing.
So that's why you always bring up. He hurt your feelings.
No, it didn't really even hurt my feelings. It just kind of blew my mind. Like, wow, this guy that I found a tweet from 2010 where I said, I can't believe I just found out who Brian Pumper was.
2010, yeah.
2010,
I seen him
2011.
I seen him in 2011 in a strip club in the Bronx. I was with Joey.
Really?
And like Yara Sanchez, a couple of us. We went to the strip club and he was just there.
And was Joe kicking it with him?
I think
They were smoking Newports together?
Joe might have said hi, but Joe was like not interested. It was like his birthday. Joe wasn't there for Brian Pumper.
Yo, we should have got a flick of them together. You got to watch my Brian Pumper video just so you can hear me talk about him meeting Kendrick.
Will do. Something true.
King ding-a-ling.
That was the greatest right there.
Yeah. We did have, you know who wrote down topics earlier?
Housephone.
Housephone.
Oh, I was about to ask, did we ever get a 411 on where the fuck he's at?
He's probably
Deceased.
doing some horse drugs right now.
He does.
Okay.
He
He's
breaks
alright.
into these like vet labs and steals their drugs for the horses, and then he does them all.
Okay.
And sometimes he just will be kind of like catatonic for a few days.
Wait.
Actually, no, I have no idea where he
One
is.
thing I wanted to talk
Give me
about.
my phone so I can look at my topics too.
Oh, I was
me
gonna.
and,
go
me
ahead.
and Josh was talking about this though. So I just started the movie reviews. If you ain't seen it, tune into that. Right? Everybody keeps saying Adam won't give Housephone a show. He won't give Housephone a show. And Josh is like, I'm so pissed off because people don't understand. Housephone does not want a show on No Jumper. You guys, please stop asking. It's not Adam. It's nobody in the office.
I mean, the reality, and also he has not texted us back. So I mean, we're an hour into this, and he's not. Oh, actually, no. We got to do the housework. Ironically, the housework of looking at his Instagram to see when his last story post was, because whenever we're trying to figure out if
Yeah,
he's
sometimes
alive
how
or
you gotta
not,
do that for every
that's
person, yeah.
usually a pretty good way to sort of judge. Well, he hasn't posted in a little while.
He was supposed to give me some high rollers today.
Oh, okay. 9 hours ago, he posted about the podcast, and then didn't
This?
show up. This podcast. Yeah.
He was covering his bases, so it looked like
I'm not searching the police website again.
Oh yeah.
I'm over it. Tough love.
You're wasting your time. No, I mean.
Oh, I could answer your question though. You asked him what is my game plan for
Oh,
to
for
get
Dick,
jump
yeah.
back
How
in
are
the
you going to
game?
celebrate?
I don't have a plan because I had a potential recently and then I reneged because I'm just like, I don't know. I need it to be like a special first time now. I'm like a new virgin again.
Right.
And I'm 33. It's like my Jesus year. Like I was reborn this
My
year.
Jesus year. No, this is your Larry Bird year.
Somebody's got to say, I'll go apple picking with you.
Yeah. It's got to be
Oh.
like some commitment shit. Or they just got to offer me like I don't know. It's like either you got to we're going to get married or like the greatest time ever you're going to show me.
Or you're going
I
to have
don't
to
know.
dip your dick in gold.
Yeah, something's got to give because I don't know. I'm not interested in just some regular shit.
Well, you reach that point in your life as a woman where you realize, like, oh, you know, if I ever was going to have a chance with this guy or we were ever going to be anything serious, I'm definitely taking myself farther away from him taking me serious by just fucking him.
Yeah, exactly.
Early on,
I mean, that's
you know?
exactly it too, right? But again, like I said, a lot of the people that I would fuck early on, it was like, I know going into this, I don't want to be with you. Like, you're not the things you stand for, like the things you say in your song. Like, I know I'm not gonna be with you, but let's fucking have a good time. Like, you know, who the fuck wouldn't want to fuck on a private jet up in the air, like, and smoke some weed and shit? Like, that shit is a fucking great time.
Yeah. That's
Rappers
amazing.
smoke weed on the private jet up in the air?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I have. With that, they actually, because I almost had sex this summer, and that was with one of the people that's been in the rotation, and it was literally like I had already had like my come to Jesus moment, and I'm good with these people, but it was like I was super bored one day, and I'm like, I want to do something like I want to have like some rock star. If I'm gonna fuck, I want to do some wild, ridiculous. Like I could fuck somebody, anybody, but like they're gonna fuck me regular, and we're gonna go home. If I'm gonna fuck, let's make it a fucking experience. So I hit this person
CGI.
who could make it an experience. And he happened to be in LA, but he was leaving. And I was like, oh, take me with you, LOL, because I know he flies private. And he was like, come on. I'm like, oh, shit, let's go. And so I was very excited. I'm like, I'm about to go to the Mile High Club. I can't wait. This is going to be nasty. It's going to be great. And then he hits me back, and he was like, I'm going to bring a friend. And I was like, oh, fine, fuck it, whatever, cool. Like, I wasn't in the mood to entertain two energies for a threesome, but I'm like, maybe it'll just be really lit.
Like a girl.
Yeah, another girl, yeah. And so that, honestly, this person is the only guy I really had many threesomes with. I think maybe I've had two others in my life, possibly. Otherwise, it was just with the same person. And because I'm kind of awkward, I don't know how to orchestrate that shit. Like, you got to be able to, like, be a really great ringleader in that scenario.
It just is awkward in general.
It
and
is.
it basically takes the people involved being really into it to
Yeah,
make it not awkward. Because if
exactly.
you are awkward or whatever, like I mean, like if you still have that sort of like youthful like awkwardness about
The
having
cutesy
sex
shit, yeah, it's
in a threesome, oh my
it's
god,
out.
that shit
It
just
doesn't
does
work.
not
Doesn't
really
bode well. And so
Yeah.
this person, like his energy is so big that it's like no one can even, you can't have that energy around him. Like he's gonna make it great. It's gonna be great. So I was like, all right, at least it'll be fun. Like he's a good time. But he's also very narcissistic and into himself and just annoying. And so I get to the plane. It's the Van Nuys airport or whatever. So parked over there. So we get there. This woman is like in her maybe late 40s. And I'm just like, oh my God.
MILF.
You show up for the not that there's anything wrong with being in your late 40s, but it's just pretty funny that you show up
so random. A white woman with like I don't know, you could tell she did many drugs in her lifetime kind of look.
like
you
many
know that
white
look.
women, yes.
Yeah. And like it was just like, I don't want to bash her because I don't want her to see this and feel bad about herself, but like it was just, I was sitting there like, I don't know how I'm gonna, I don't even like women like that. I like the experiences. I like doing shit or whatever. So I'm like, I don't mind it, but I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna even hype myself up to like, how am I gonna do this? Like I really was not into her like at all. And so then we get on the plane and she was just so fucking extra. Like he's playing his music on the plane and shit. Like he's unreleased music. I have my headphones on listening to my own shit because at this point, like
That's a bad
I don't
sign.
want to be bothered.
You're wearing headphones in the threesome, bad sign.
and like because he's not even like paying attention to us. He's like so into his fucking music and what he's doing and shit. This bitch is crying at every song that he's playing because it's so beautiful. I'm
get
like,
me
yo,
the hell outta
I'm
here.
going
No.
to
That's why she there.
bro. But that's exactly why she's there.
Where's she at?
And so I'm just sitting there like, I cannot believe this is real. Like I can't. And so at one point I take my headphones off because I'm like, at least let me join this party so he doesn't sit there and be like, why didn't you want to hear my music? You don't like he does that stupid little bitchy bratty shit. So I'm like, all right, let me just join this fucking convention. So all this to say, but at one point it was very cool. It was about 5 a.m, 6. The sun was rising. We're up in the air. So you see like the clouds, the sun. I got a joint. He's playing this record that, because I'm a fan of his music, sometimes I just didn't fucking want to hear it the whole plane ride. So he's playing this record that was like, it's just a big record. It's got gospel in the background. Like that was a fucking moment right there. I'm like, this is annoying,
Like
but
I'm slowly ticking away at who this rapper could be.
oh, guys, relax. So, but then I actually ended up never even fucking him. So we land. He puts us in a room together, which is bizarre because he has all the money that he could, and he's not a cheap person, but he puts me in the room with her, and she's an upcoming artist apparently. She used to do like 80 other jobs.
And she's old as fuck.
Yeah, and so now she's trying to rap. And so we spend mind you, I work, so I'm like at the time I'm in the room trying to write for Hip Hop DX and shit like that, like trying to do my job. And she's playing me her music and showing me all her music videos. And like if anyone knows me, that is literally, I mean, most of us, right? You don't want to, when you meet random people, you don't want to fucking hear their random music in the middle.
I don't want to hear any music that I don't already know ever.
Exactly. Like that is the most annoying thing that can happen anywhere. So she's playing me her music the whole fucking time. He doesn't hit us until like 2 a.m. We landed at like noon. So I'm stuck with this bitch from noon to 2 a.m. And then he expects us to like get into the mood for this threesome at that point. Then he takes us to a studio and a fucking special about him comes on TV.
Oh my god, this is such a short list.
And you
Gospel,
would think, okay,
specials,
private jets.
Private
the
jets.
gospel was a total side, like that's not even, no. But
Black man.
so then,
You don't know this song?
No.
The Jay-Z and Pharrell song? Half the time when I mention it, people know exactly what I'm
You
talking
talking about
about.
the video
And
with,
half the time,
wait.
they have no idea.
You talking about the video with all the businesses and stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
By
Yeah,
the
that's
way,
right.
there's a lot of rappers that fly private now, like a lot.
They got something called JetX.
There's a lot of podcasters who don't.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, as far as you trying to narrow it down, like there's a million people it could be.
They'll narrow it down.
Anyway.
Our chat is smart.
Choir.
So, so then she starts freaking out again about this special. Like she was the worst. Then he's playing an instrumental and she starts rapping to it. And then he spazzed out on her. And then I fell asleep. And then he asked me if I wanted to sleep in the downstairs. I said yes. So then I went downstairs. Then he came back and he was like, you don't care about me? Like, what's going on? I'm like, you know what? I don't feel well. Can I go back to the room? And then he sent me back to the room and I texted his people. I'm like, get me a flight. And I got the fuck out
This
of there.
sounds very strange.
Being a girl sounds horrible.
It was a lot. And all I wanted was some rock star sex on a jet. That was all I wanted. It was like a Thursday night. I'm like, what a fucking wonderful Thursday. and I'm gonna go home and fucking hang out with my cat.
But
And
you seem like you're at the point in your life where you're starting to realize that like
none of that shit is so
why
stupid.
would I want to chase around
Yeah, I
famous
don't.
rich
That
dick that's
shit's
going to
dumb.
treat me like a second-class
Exactly.
citizen when I could find myself a good Foot Locker employee
No, we're
and
not
just
doing
settle
that.
down? Yeah, an apple picker.
Foot Locker is not gonna be it for me. In my mind, I envision
Why?
it like.
Oh my
nah.
God! Don't make me go Kevin
I
Samuels
don't
on you.
want. I don't want to start this.
I need
don't wanna
I
start
need a
this.
creative. That's all. I need somebody that's a creative. Like I don't.
Selling shoes is an art.
It's not an art.
Al Bundy did it.
No, thank you.
He made an art. He made a whole TV show out of it.
Nope. I want somebody that can I could wake up on a Tuesday and I could catch a flight. I want someone that has a schedule like that.
You want
that
somebody
can,
with money
not even money. I mean, yes.
that can catch a flight just out of
you
nowhere.
gotta at least match my money. Like you gotta at least start where
Sorry,
I'm at.
Costco workers.
Like,
Okay, think about the predicament of like my girl. So
Okay.
she gets into a relationship with me, and within like the first year of us being together, she's got more money than she could ever fucking spend. Like that she doesn't know what to do with.
And that's because she blew up and shit.
Yeah, your OnlyFans just goes crazy. It was private Snapchat then, whatever. But she's in a relationship with me, and I think sometimes she kind of like looks at her time that she had money before she had a kid, and she's kind of like, fuck, like I wish that I spent more time traveling. I wish that I spent, more, because that's what she always wanted to do when she was broke and working at a fucking supermarket, is that she wanted to travel, she wanted to see the world and everything. Then she starts really getting money, but she's also in a relationship with me. And the whole thing about me is that, I mean, me making money is a lot more time intensive than her making
Right,
money in
okay,
terms of like
yeah.
OnlyFans. You could do a couple photo shoots or little iPhone clips or whatever in a week, and that's and it is a lot of money or a lot of time the way that she does it, where she really takes it serious and everything. But like for me, I mean, I'm in here fucking like 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday,
Facts,
and it's just like, there is that like illusion of the idea that you're gonna like get with someone who has a ton of money and has a wide open schedule, and it just usually does not work
it's not
out
gonna
that
end
way.
up like that. I mean, the schedule thing is a little bit less, but more so, I just want you to live an unconventional life, like I live an unconventional life, and also like I've seen a lot, I've done a lot. Like I've been around the world, I've experienced like fucking on. I mean, I never ended up getting to fuck on the jet, but I almost did. But it's experiences like that it's like, not that I'm jaded, but it's just like, I want you to have at least experienced that too, or know that life, know that world, because
To be able to even connect, because I ain't gonna be able
there's
to.
nothing like there's just you get lost in translation. Like I go home and I talk to people from my hometown, and it's just different. The way they talk to you, the way they, I don't know. It's just a different thought process. You
See,
know?
men are opposite. Men like to show women, let's do this, let's go on this private jet, let's go to this country that you have never seen before, and that's
and put
a good
you
thought.
onto things. Yeah, I mean, I want to put a man onto things too, but not on a big scale. I want us both to meet each other where we're already at. Like I make a lot of money. I want to meet someone that has a lot of money. I already struggled. I went through all of that, so I'm not doing it again with somebody else. Like, just not.
I respect it.
And like in my mind, my dream guy is like a fucking Hollywood set designer or some shit, and we could just fucking wake up and build shit together.
Man, I've seen some of these YouTube channels my girl has shown me where it's basically like that, where you got like a dude and a girl, they're in a relationship, they're both interior designers, and every goddamn day they're just going and working on this.
That is a dream for me.
It does seem very fun because they're joined together. Like my girl doesn't even barely come here. I mean, if she would come here with a kid, it would be great, but it's also like, all right, I'm gonna have to tell everybody you can't smoke weed for a while.
Oh right, yeah.
It's like
you gotta change shit up.
this is not a great environment for a kid necessarily.
It doesn't seem ideal.
I was thinking
wires
maybe
and shit
we
too.
need to build like a little like a daycare center here.
Because my son was knocking over all type of shit in here.
There's so many wires in here that you're just kind of, if you want to be in here, you're expected to just know that you can't go tugging on every wire, which I think that's probably a problem for.
I'll help you design the daycare. I love like interior shit. Like my crib, I painted like a whole Mario Brothers wall and shit. Like I love like weird
That's hot.
creative shit. This shit is so fire.
That's hot. Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Hot.
Sick.
Hot.
But that's why in my room I have watermelon wallpaper and like cheetah print shit. Like I like weird, ridiculous.
What's up with
shit.
you?
Sound like
Fruit.
Lisa Frank.
Literally. I feel like I don't know. Katy Perry is like I love her. Like the way she dresses, all the weird, crazy, weird. Like I have fruit tattooed, cupcakes, all type of random. Just what I like.
You're like a raver chick.
I am, but like a boring one. Like it doesn't actually rave, but I like all this shit.
You're stuck in that weird moment, and like everybody has this moment in their life where they're like basically between being a child and like
Yes.
living their life like a child and dating like a child. Actually, have you ever seen Baby Boy?
Here you go. Shut up. No, we're not going through this again.
I'm not gonna go into it, but you know, like you,
Bro, the basis of you saying that, I'm the complete opposite, bro.
No, yeah, that's true.
The complete opposite.
But you have a little bit of that baby boy in you.
And
you just think I'm a playboy. That's the only thing you think about me, a baby boy.
No, I just see you like sometimes I see you.
I make a
having-
lot of money. I
Okay.
drive a nice car. I pay all my fucking bills.
Same.
I don't have no one funding nothing for me. I don't sell dick anymore.
no smut on your name.
Anymore.
I have a lot of careers and things and shit going on.
Okay, but this is my thing. Sometimes I see things in your life that I'm like, it seems like you don't really care about, like you're sort of like when you end up in the hospital off of drinking 18
yeah.
energy drinks.
Nigga, I did. Look at me. I'm drinking 3 waters now.
And that's a good step towards getting rid. I'm drinking 3
But
waters.
you haven't even finished any of them, and we've been here.
Wait,
for
wait,
like,
wait,
are you
wait,
doing-
wait.
Okay.
Sorry,
my
it isn't
fault.
fruit water.
All right.
It's
And
regular
And I've
water.
seen you dripping the water on the ground the whole time. He's
my
getting rid of
God.
it like Jerry Seinfeld with the lamb. No, the mutton.
Oh my God. I definitely had that scare, and I've changed up a lot.
That made you decide you want to change your life?
I'm not
more
gonna stop
water?
drinking. I'm just not gonna do energy drinks no more.
I think after that, because you know the energy drinks, we had someone who works here bought a whole fucking gigantic case of these energy drinks. So there was like 30 of them in the fridge. I mean,
Energy drinks are. Fucking
It seems like you
gross.
guys just started drinking them like it wasn't a big deal.
I was.
Those things are a
crazy.
big deal. Those aren't even like regular energy drinks. Like for me too, when I heard like that you ended up in the hospital, and then Trev and Josh basically said that they weren't going to drink them anymore. And then today when I was on the way to the office, I was thinking about it, I'm like, if they're all going to stop, I think I'm going to stop too. I'm going to get myself a coffee and try to keep this shit a little bit more normal.
But I'm so used to buying like 2 Red Bulls a day now. It just
Oh,
feels weird as fuck.
That's
Swear to God.
gross. That's disgusting.
You don't like Red Bull?
No, I don't like anything carbonated at all. So, but it also just tastes like pee and candy together.
Pea and candy? Sounds amazing.
The energy I get from a Red Bull.
Pea and candy.
You never let a girl pee on you.
Allegedly.
Have you?
Really?
I'm playing.
That's hot.
It's not.
That's real hot.
I've tried it once. It was like stupid though. Like
It feels stupid, right? Like, why do I have pee on my leg
yeah,
now?
like you just did it, and then we were both looking at each other like, "Oh right, well that was stupid. Let's take a shower."
I was on mad ecstasy with my girl and this other girl one night, and the other girl was just like, "Oh, I want you to pee on me so bad," and I'm like not as on ecstasy as they are, but I'm like kind of just like standing there, just like watching my girl like squat down. She was nervous; she couldn't even get the pee out right.
Yeah, I would not be able to pee on. I would not be able to pee on someone. On
And the other girl though is all mollied out. My girl was too, and I'm just watching them and just thinking like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's,
This is strange. Like, I don't know. There's just something about the pee thing. It just doesn't really. But sometimes I feel like my mind is closed. Like, I find if I found out about people peeing on each other when I was like 12, I probably would have been like a lifetime pee guy, maybe.
R.
yeah.
Kelly.
I started watching porn in like the 4th grade, so
Not like that.
I've always seen a lot of shit. So I'm like down to try most things, but like I said, I did that once, and I was like, okay, well, I know it's not for me.
I always say this though. Like the first porn I ever saw on the internet was a chick eating a log of shit.
Ugh.
I've never watched one of those, and I don't think I ever.
It
would.
was an image, and you know the website would load real slow.
Yo,
Click,
back in
click,
the day, and then
click,
you could
click.
sometimes watch like 30-second previews on the first page, or the second page would make you pay.
And I'm not kidding. This is like 28K modem and shit. Like it really might have taken like a full minute
Yeah, it used to be a long
for the
time.
JPEG of the turd going into this chick's mouth
That
to
is
load.
so fucking
I wonder what
disgusting.
effect that had on me.
I'm sure.
Did you ever want to
something.
eat shit?
Yeah.
You really did? No. Okay, I was like, bro. I said there's things I tried. That does not fall
Somebody
under that
clip
category.
that. Yeah.
That is a different level of nasty.
But yo, you know what's the
I'm never
best?
smoking with you again.
Ever
Shit
do
mouth.
not.
You
Pastor
gotta eat
J.
a dookie. You want to smoke with me?
There's
That sounds like a
something
bar.
Very bad about that.
Basically, like I was in Compton. No. Basically, we had a girl on the podcast like a couple of years ago who just straight up said that she wanted to get pooped on, and
That's a different level of freaky, bro.
this dude made a TikTok of. There's like a weird genre on TikTok, which
Oh,
by
I've
the
seen it.
follow No Jumper on TikTok was we just hit 330K. I can't believe how fast it's blowing up, but basically this guy like plays the clip of the girl saying she wants to get a turd dropped on her, and then he says like, "Oh what?" or like "Word," like he just makes like some little
Stupid ass
reaction.
face.
Million views.
Yo,
Shit
TikTok
viral.
blows my mind, bro. It's like the most. Some people just do nothing, and it's just crazy. The
It's
fucking
insane.
way. Like, I put a video of my cat the other. I mean, it didn't go viral, but it still got a lot of likes. I'm like, it's just a fucking cat. Video.
My baby mama made a video making almond milk, and it got like 3 million views on
what the
fucking TikTok.
fuck, bro?
Strange as hell. I don't know.
We're
Was
such
it well
weird
made?
times.
Your old baby mama?
No, my new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she made that.
Oh god.
She made that, and yeah, I was like, with a fucking towel or something. 3 million fucking views. Then my fucking sister and my dad gets millions of views going viral on fucking TikTok. I'm the only one that can't go viral on TikTok.
You're supposed to be the famous one. All the normal people are going viral.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I put like a few videos on TikTok. Like last year in quarantine, when I was bored, I was like recreating like movie scenes. I did Clarissa Explains It All. What was this show? Clarissa Explains It All.
I remember that.
Oh, you did? Oh,
That Nickelodeon, right?
Yep. And Beetlejuice. Clarissa's literally my favorite show in the world. She's who I like. My aesthetic. That's where I get it from, Clarissa. And I did
Witchy
Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Witchy woman.
I got to speak to her, Melissa Joan Hart, on Clubhouse last month, and I fucking like.
R.I.P. Clubhouse.
Is it gone? What happened?
Shit done.
I don't use. That was the one and only time I ever used it.
Clubhouse, I saw a graphic that said that like the monthly downloads are like 2 million, 3 million, 2 million, 800K. Like the number of signups is
Dwindling.
plummeting. Because I feel like, I don't know.
It was a quarantine thing, I feel
There's
like.
so many things that I look at that I'm like, that's stupid. And I really believe that's stupid. Like NFTs.
I don't understand that at all.
I think they're stupid as fuck.
People making a lot of money off of them, though.
And I still think they're stupid, and I think none of those NFTs are going to be worth shit. And I'm sorry, but I'm dying with this
Sell
opinion.
your tweets like Soulja
Yeah,
Boy.
I think it is really fun. I don't understand it much, but it is dumb.
I guarantee you, yes, I 100% believe you that I could leverage my celebrity into selling a bunch of stupid ass NFTs to my fans. However, I feel like I have too much respect for my fans to try to sell them some fucking snake oil.
Integrity, we love it.
I mean, they're already making us enough money. It's like, do I got to sell them something bullshit that don't even
Yeah.
exist?
Yeah, and Clubhouse too, I think is completely fucking. I mean, I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like hearing.
I
what
had
people
a
have to
couple of good
say.
times on there. We had like a LA room that was like a week.
Right.
So it was like every fucking LA rapper, DJ and shit, but it turned like, I said, Clubhouse is going to be bad for Los Angeles.
I feel like Clubhouse was a weird thing because when it was small, it seemed like people really liked it, and then as it got big, the whole cool factor of it went away.
Yeah, well, that's what the industry people love, fucking feeling like they got something cool for themselves.
And that's how it felt. It felt
very
like
gatekeeper-y.
this is Joe Budden, Karen Civil, and me, and nobody else.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 people listening to us.
Yeah, that was literally how it was. And then, but then it was like you got a lot of people on there trying to be experts about shit that is like, who the fuck are you? Like,
The
what
whole
are you
thing is
talking
that
about?
the technology does not stand out enough for me to feel like the platform had a future.
Yeah.
Like it's basically Zoom, but with no video, and it's a little bit more social.
Or like
and
those chat lines from back in the day when we were
Right,
kids.
and I get it. Like I get why, and I have a reason to hate Clubhouse too, because everything I've built with this company and shit is basically like what Clubhouse is aiming for.
Fuck you to it.
Well,
No, I
Clubhouse is
completely
trying
get
to
what you're
basically
saying.
make it so that the average person can create something that's basically like a podcast, and that it would be easy and fun and simple and stuff. And like for us, it's like I don't want to make a shitty Clubhouse call where you got 10 people talking over each other
Yeah.
and yada yada yada. I want to actually come into the office and create high quality podcasts of, yes, maybe we're talking about some stupid shit. Maybe we're talking about eating our own shit and how AD used to sell his penis for the 8,000th time. But it's a high quality product is what I'm trying to create.
Yeah.
And that's why I get Clubhouse, because there's so many people out there that are basically like professional, like attempted networkers.
They're actually like really good at shit. I don't understand how people. I mean, not really good, but they effectively put themselves in a lot of places. So I get why they would like that.
People in the industry who just want to be in the industry so bad that they will dedicate like 8 hours a day to like going to concerts and like
Bruh,
going to
it's
some
insane.
conference and standing around and just trying to meet a motherfucker, rather than, you know, from my perspective, it's like you could just like make content on the internet, and if you're good at it, people will
People
gravitate
will come
towards
to you.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like Clubhouse, NFTs, suck my dick. You're all the ops. I don't want them.
Co-sign all
eat
of that.
poop.
Yeah.
Eat poop.
Shit in a slow loading JPEG.
Yeah. Hey, how would you feel if you went to a party and somebody served a cake, and then after they served the cake and you were halfway through eating your cake,
They told you they were shitting it.
no, come.
Bro, you said 3 weeks in a row.
I know, but I want to know how she would feel.
That's disgusting.
We know someone who did this.
I don't.
I think I'd be really pissed, but it's not like if it was shit, that's fucking filthy. But I've swallowed cum, so I was like, well, fuck it.
You
Whatever.
probably swallowed
We're
shit.
Here. I hope not.
I mean, just like small amounts, like maybe just like here and there.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I don't know.
I had this guy earlier this year, or last year rather. He was like, I don't know. I told him like I'm down for mad shit, so I think he got like super excited and creative, and he just started saying mad things. And he was like, I'm gonna come on a cupcake and feed it to you. And I was like, all right, I'm down for it. It's ridiculous, but I'll try it.
You know, we mentioned Cam Girl earlier. You and her are very different podcasters.
Yes.
Because, if you even said the idea of somebody eating a pastry with ejaculate on it, I mean, she would get up and leave the room.
Really?
Like that would. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like I'm like 80 different people in one, but like on the sexual side of shit, like I don't know. We're fucking humans and we like to try things.
You know,
Fuck
it's like at the end of the
I
day.
need a bus on the cupcake now. I ain't never tried that.
He also was like,
You gotta eat it though.
No.
He was like a tequila with a shot of cum. That's what he said. Actually, let me find the text if I could.
You don't have to go search.
This guy's a genius.
No, but I know a girl like who went viral because she had her boyfriend bust a nut on a hot dog and she ate the hot dog for her OnlyFans. I mean,
okay, I couldn't do it on camera, but
I'm trying to think about how I would feel if my girl asked me to do that, because on one hand, yeah, I'm like down to do whatever, and busting a nut is whatever. But
it's the visual of a cum cupcake.
you know, there's certain things that like, you know, I know how big her OnlyFans is, and I know how many creeps are on it, and I don't give a fuck, and I don't spend like 1 second per day thinking about it. But I don't know, there's just certain things like maybe the cum hot dog would just kind of. I don't know.
I don't think I
Like,
could
you
do a
do it
cum
my
hot
kid,
dog. That's like
you know?
there's meats
You stop it
involved.
with glizzies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
There's
like she has
meats
my
involved.
kid. It's almost like at a certain point, maybe I just don't
Yeah,
want you to
maybe,
eat a cum
yeah.
dog on.
Yeah. What about a cum cupcake though? No.
You know, but then at the same
Where's
time,
my notes? Comes.
See, this is the weird thing.
Cupcake.
It's like
Or
if my
a
girl
cum cake,
if
if
my
you
girl
will?
were to go actually do really slutty shit, like she could probably be way bigger on OnlyFans. You know, so it's like if she has something she wants to do. But actually, I think she's told me that she thinks that the eating cum food thing is disgusting, so she's not trying to do that.
Like it's not like it's something not something I aspire for, but like he brought it up and I was like, I wouldn't say no. I was like, try
Guys?
anything.
As you guys are leaving your comments about what you think of this episode, just keep that in mind. I'm really interested to know what the audience thinks of our dynamic without the ketamine crip and with Marisa.
It really went sexual.
It did, and I actually told myself today, I'm like, let's not go there.
This is how she lives her life.
Sexual and rehabilitation. It's
Facts.
education today.
Yeah.
I think part of it too is that we didn't have any topics for the first like hour and a half, and now I do have the topics, and I'm not that interested in them.
After cum cupcake, where do you go?
And
Where do you
but
take
I mean,
it from
to be
there?
fair, these are Housephone's comments that or topics that he wrote down, and it might this might be one of the last things that he ever wrote in his life. So we
God.
kind of owe it
We
to
have
him
to
to
honor
discuss.
him.
We have to stop joking around him maybe
Yeah, you're
being
putting
dead.
that in the air.
Because
You
we
don't wanna
always
put that
joke
energy
around
out
about it when
there.
he doesn't show up, and then he's alive.
Oh, does this happen like more often than not, or what's
It's-
the
Did
vibe
he
on
Text
that?
Josh? Did he text you?
No, it's kind of becoming like a too regular thing. But you know, it's like the audience does like him, and we like him. And honestly, like this is what always happens: is that we'll have an episode where he's really present and good on camera. Like the last week's episode was one of the
That
best
was fun.
episodes we ever did.
Yeah, I had a good time.
This week he's not here. I mean, that's like, and
You give and you take, you know.
honestly, that has happened before too, though, where
He peaked last
I
week.
would feel like we were on a really good pace with the podcast, and then I would like come in all excited to podcast with him, and then he just wouldn't be there, and it's kind of like, damn, I don't know.
Who is he? Like, what was his background? Like, where did he come from?
A horse tranquilizer lab is where he's from.
I
No,
was
he's
really following it for a second. I'm like, wait, what?
he's from out here. I met him because he was just selling coke at the club.
All right.
And not even at the club, but like at the warehouse, like
Okay.
warehouse clubs.
You gotta
and shit.
start somewhere.
And I was like the kind of guy who like never had coke, but I was always down to do coke.
Mm-hmm.
So he just started to be like doing coke with me because I had a YouTube channel or something. And then like when I decided I wanted to do this and start trying to like work on building like a consistent podcast, which it took us a long time to even start doing something called the No Jumper Show. We used to just do like random episodes back in the day, but he just kind of occurred to me as like a random person to try out. And usually when I try somebody out, they just don't leave, case in point.
Y'all adopted me.
Well, we introduced AD to white people, so
Dolly Parton.
White
That's all.
people fuck with you? They like you? Yeah.
I guess.
apparently some of them.
White people are cool.
If you guys haven't seen it, you should go watch AD's movie review that he just put out, because it didn't get that many views, but the people who watched it seemed to really love it.
So it's going to be a slow burn and grow, but it'll grow.
I think we got to just keep working on it, not get stuck in a rut, keep fucking with the formula, make it better. I don't know if it should just be you.
You getting all the praise.
Me?
They saying Adam, he's dope for letting them do this.
I
was like,
platform and
fuck him. He didn't like this shit.
I openly hated on you and said that you wouldn't do it and that it wouldn't be good.
Yep.
How did y'all meet?
And then guess what happened?
I actually thought it was pretty good, yeah.
How did y'all meet?
I met him at a video shoot. We were tying up white people.
Okay.
Right?
You tied up one, and actually you had nothing to do with it. There was a hired actor who was hired to be tied up in the video.
Whose song was it?
03 Garrido and Maxo Cream.
Okay.
And it was actually really weird because it was like, I think the day after or maybe 2 days after XXXTentacion died.
Oh, okay, so 28.
So weird time period for me because I kind of wanted to just sit around the house and be a bum and be sad. But then, I had all these gang members trying to get me to go to this video. So I went
no to the
and,
gang
it did help my mood out and whatnot. But I remember like some of the comments being like, like apparently I should have been so sad that I should just never leave the house. Which is really,
grief is, you can't tell someone how to grieve.
and if you've been in the rap game for a while, I'm sorry, but you just like you're gonna get toughened up a little bit. Like your friends are gonna die, and you're gonna have to keep it moving because it's not gonna be that infrequent that people are gonna die if you're in the hip hop game. You know,
exactly.
Sad but true. Anyway, then AD beat my ass, jumped me into the Crips, and it's been harmony ever since.
Big C's.
Sounds right to me.
Whoop whoop.
No, now you just ruined it.
Oh yeah, it's not okay.
Whoop is like a blood call.
That's definitely a blood call.
I do all the gang signs and calls.
I learned it from Ty Dolla
If you
Sign.
can, cuckoo!
Whoop.
If you can make one gang sign, how would it look?
What the fuck is that?
No, I mean best gang sign of all time is the blood thing.
I don't even know how to do
Laura was throwing that up too.
I mean, it's just that was like the gang sign that I found out about probably first in my life when I was like 13 or some shit. Like,
I mean, that's what we all find out about in middle school.
I mean, being able to write a 5-letter word with your hands and have it actually make sense is pretty rare.
That is pretty awesome. We used to crip walk in 8th
Yeah, but
grade.
at once, all at the same time.
Yeah, we don't have nothing like that.
Yeah, try to write crip with your hand right now. I guarantee it's not going to be a snazzy.
This is the new thing we be doing.
So wait,
I like
here's
that.
a C. Here's like a R.
No.
I think you spelled out CK.
Wait. Hold on. We could do this. This is an R.
I'm going to ask you a serious question.
Okay. This isn't working.
Josh,
It's not working out.
your pinky is broken.
Josh is just over there. God.
His pinky is like.
I used to always throw up the Dipset sign. It might be a gang.
I can't never do this one though. When
probably a
everybody used to do
blessing.
the Pharrell's thing, for some reason
VA?
my hand don't open.
What the hell is this? No, you gotta
No,
go.
it
Oh,
can't.
like
It doesn't.
You
this.
gotta go out, not down.
I
This shit?
can't do it. Like my fingers won't let me. This is as far as it goes.
Because you got sausage fingers.
Fluffy fingers.
AD gained a little weight over the past few weeks, and I think it's made his fingers less mobile.
I'm about to lose it again, man.
You got to, bro.
What is that? That looks like.
Because it doesn't do
You
work
look
for
like
me.
the penguin from the
The
Batman
peng-
He
movie.
does look like a penguin. Let's roll with that. The Crip Penguin.
The cream one.
I'm looking forward to telling my daughter that Uncle AD is really into the color blue.
You keep saying.
I just think it
a
would be
red
so
hat on.
funny to kind of troll her and just make her think that you're just obsessed with the color blue.
Oh my
But
god.
she did meet Kiki before you, so
Kiki taught me.
how to gangbang?
Somewhere.
Nice.
What's it like having those fucking ridiculously long fingers hanging off your fingers, bro? That's got to be.
Those are not even long.
Yeah, these are like short compared to most of the girls these days.
I guess
but
it's not like full Cardi B.
Yeah, I can't do that. This is about as far as I'll go. But I don't know. I've had nails since like middle school. I don't even know how to operate without nails.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever put your finger in a butt and had it come out with a big chunk of shit on one of the
Oh
nails?
my god.
I don't put my fingers in butts. So.
Ever?
No. I've licked butt, but I don't stick a finger in it.
Why you look at me?
I was looking at you for confirmation, like she's all messed up.
I mean, hey.
Y'all never got y'all asses licked.
Not
Come
me.
on.
I don't play that
You
shit.
have. You had,
Yeah,
of course.
He does.
On
Yeah.
camera.
I don't play that shit.
Why? Grow up.
He's a fake gangster.
Grow
He thinks that
up.
if he
That's just not me. That's just
You
some
don't
line
even
I
know
ain't
if it is
crossed.
you if you haven't tried it yet.
It's just a line I ain't crossed.
You
I
know
ain't
what?
doing it.
This is what it's like.
It's very
like
pleasurable.
You know how you have a quote unquote salad bar Christians?
Yeah.
Like basically people who claim to be Christians, but then they sort of pick and choose. Like,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
like gay people, so I'm not going to pay attention to that part. But I don't want to eat fish on Friday, so I'm gonna, like, doesn't make any sense. That's like him. He out here wearing sandals, kicking it with bloods, wearing red, but won't get his ass eaten.
You know?
I'm cool. I'm cool on that.
Wearing red.
Crazy.
What's wrong wearing red?
My cripping, it's not
Yeah.
allowed.
You got blue on too.
I'm not really a Crip. It was just a joke.
He's officially Crip and right.
I used to call him when I met him Blue-Eyed Loke. He's like, stop calling me that.
Yeah, I didn't realize your eyes were blue until here. Very nice
My baby
eyes.
is the blue-eyed Loke now.
Nice.
And now I don't even see your eyes blue anymore.
What do you see them?
They're like gray.
He just sees love. You see gray?
That's
Eyes
hot.
radiate love.
You see gray in my eyes?
You remind me of Robert De Niro now.
In
Not
what
even
way?
close.
I don't know.
I get no Robert energy from
Like
you at all.
grumpy, angry old man.
When I was
Grumpy old white
19,
man.
Yeah.
I went through a short period of time when I was around 19 where multiple different girls came up to me and told me that I looked like George Clooney.
Okay.
That was a compliment.
That's
And
nice.
then that just ran out and just stopped. So I think
Yeah.
I got fat soon after and that
Yeah,
stopped.
you don't look like
They
George
say I look like
Clooney,
Fat
though.
Chris Brown.
Yeah. Yo. Damn.
I got fucking Looney D back in the day. When
Who?
Looney D. Yeah. Way back in the day.
I
had
do
black
not remember.
Louis D
what-
was hot.
I don't remember what she looked like at all.
Me with black hair.
Really?
Yeah, and then now I get Justina Valentine because we have the same red hair, but that we don't look alike at all.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have? Let me ask you this, and hopefully this isn't prying too much. Have you ever had sex with a member of Dipset?
No, I have not, but I've been obsessed with them since I was a kid. So that was the problem. That's probably why, because I was stalking. That's how I got in the industry. I was stalking them in like high school, and I used to literally save my lunch money because Joel Santana had a store in Harlem,
What was it called again?
Santana's Town.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had
And
the worst merch.
They did, but they were like, it was so cool because no one else really had merch out there like that.
Yeah.
Like his mom to be a hustler like that and open the store. It was 03. She had a message board where we could all talk to each other.
We were so easily impressed. It's like, wow, Joel Santana made a white tee that says Santana's Town in
with
red
paint
font.
splatter on it. Bought it all. Bought everything in that fucking
What a
store.
young entrepreneur.
I randomly met J.R. Ryder this weekend.
This week, I saw you
The
on
writer of writers?
I saw you on Instagram with him, and I'm like, what is going on? This is why I need to leave the house.
Love Dipset.
Yeah.
Where were you?
OT, he had a opening. He has a CBD line now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Big League CBD. We birthed that.
Thank you,
fine.
Yassi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yassi.
Yes, Big League CBD. Big League CBD.
He,
and they
he
had a
just
launch
like
for that.
based this whole period of his career around her and his beef with her.
I like it, man. They both
Was that the
benefit off
episode
it.
where he yelled at that girl? And
Yeah.
by the way, I mean, like, granted, he was in right. I don't know. I didn't like his attitude in that scenario. It wasn't nice.
That episode is basically like a litmus test for whether you're a chauvinist or a feminist,
Yeah.
pro feminist person, because
There's been mixed reviews. I'll
That
say
whole,
that.
that whole get money thing was like, what? I don't know. That shit was.
for me, when I watched it, I was like, when I watched that, I was more convinced than ever. Like, I don't want to ever drink again.
Yeah.
People act so
literally
dumb when
that
they're
episode,
drunk.
I was like, I would never drink on No Jumper ever watching that specific episode.
You're about to
Like,
get high and be like,
Yeah. Even then. I
this
gotta-
ain't Hot 97, bro. We smoke loud weed out here.
Yeah, no, none of that in that studio at all.
Ebro smoking CBD blunts. He ain't smoking like us. I don't know.
CBD blunts don't do anything, by the way, but make you sleepy.
Yeah, if that.
They heal you, though.
Not even that.
Josh Kesselman from Raw gave us these weird ass papers with this crazy shit on it, and you have to mix regular weed with CBD weed in the same thing, and it's supposed to get you way too high. We smoked it; it got me really high. I don't know like how much of it was a placebo effect, but
Right. Yeah. I don't like CBD, and never did anything for me.
I have CBD cookies that put me to sleep all the time. I like them.
Really?
really.
They're like sugar cookies. They're fire.
Maybe I'll try one of those.
You think there's any bloods out there eating smoking CBD and calling it BBD?
That doesn't.
That's actually fire.
That's fire.
Bell
You just
Biz
gave
Devo.
somebody poison.
Ooh.
That girl
You got like a
is
whole line of shit you can do.
poison.
The poison BBD cookies.
I'm not a BBD.
You got an ashtray, cuh?
You've been around me too long. For sure. You're a kid.
But yeah, he had that store, and that's how me and Karen Civil met, actually.
She was at the Santana's Town
She was a
class
member
as well.
of Jewels.com, just like me. I met my best friend. I was in her wedding, like off of Jewels.com, literally. And
that was his website, Jewels.com.
That was it. And he had a message board.
How on earth did he get that URL?
It was 03. It was a new time.
Oh, 3. Okay,
And
continue.
yeah, and so I would say, so me and Karen met because they, like, his mom would post on the message board, like, oh, the boys are taping at this, you could get free audience tickets to that. And so her and I met because we both went to a free taping. I cut school, I was like in 10th grade. And she was like, is anybody here from Jewels.com? I was like, oh, me, my username is Madi. And she's like, oh, my username's Karen. And we got cool through that shit. And just, yeah, every weekend I would go to the store. So even when I see Jewels now, it's like, little sister shit. Like, I knew his mom and stuff, so none of them. And like me and Jim are like hella cool, which is the coolest thing in the fucking world to me. Like, because
Really?
Jim was always like Jim is mean and scary, you know? Like, so he'd pop in, but Joel's was the young guy that was, like, excited about the new fame and shit like that. Jim's a fucking gangster, so we only got cool, like, a few years ago. But, like, to me, literally, like, he commented when I wrote Columbus Shorts book last year, and I posted about it.
You're lucky he didn't get you super violated.
Who? Columbus?
Jim Jones.
Oh, why? What do you mean?
You don't remember that when 6ix9ine got caught up? They had the audio recording
oh
of
my God.
he need to be super
God.
violated.
Yes,
that's when we were like,
that went right over my fucking head. But
Jim Jones, a little more gangster than we knew.
Like, no, for real. Like, he's about that fucking life. And so he commented dope on my thing of me in Columbus. And, like, I was happy for a week straight. I'm like, oh my God, Jim Jones commented.
I remember when I was maybe 21, there was this fucking girl that I was friends with. And I was actually friends with her. She was like 18. She had just graduated high school, but she was like a rap fan. And there's a couple different things that we went to together, and we never hooked up or anything. It's actually really weird when I think about my life. There's like so few girls that I like was friends with that I didn't try to fuck at some point. But I remember there was like a Jim Jones, like, what was it? A play?
A play
in Manhattan.
That almost sounds, yeah, he's done
Do you remember
a lot
this?
Of yes.
It was something like a Jim Jones play.
Yes.
Like a music.
Bro,
was
you
it a
just
musical?
unlocked something in my brain that I forgot was there.
Same here. But I remember I posted about this on MySpace. That girl hit me up. She came, she met me at the fucking show. We went and watched it. I don't really remember enough about it to say much, but I guarantee we could probably find information about it on the internet. But I remember this girl who was like really green, like rich Manhattan girl or whatever. She goes up to Jim Jones afterwards and just says, Jim, I know you don't know me, but if you want to smoke a blunt, I got 5 on it.
Green as fuck.
I'm standing like 10 feet away, just like,
feed her the cup.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Give her the boo-boo.
God.
They were just out here. They had oh, by the way, Amber said I had to shout her out, so.
What
Shout
up,
to
Amber?
Rose.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, at rest in peace, Juice WRLD backstage.
I wasn't
Juice
sure if you
WRLD's
guys were still
concert.
friends.
Yeah. We went. Dipset. It was like 2 weeks ago. They had they're opening. They did a clothing line with her man. So.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's fire.
Shit. Yeah, there was some shit on Melrose. It was on Fairfax maybe. But yeah, It was us, Jim, Cam, Joel's Skyped in or whatever they do now. It's pretty fire.
Lit. Do you remember Yams from that time period?
Yeah, and Yams actually, rest in peace as well. He had tweeted me one time like, yo, I remember you from Santana's Town. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, we all were kids out there just fucking, but that literally, like, me knowing Karen ended up getting me my internship at Hot 97 years later, which became a job. I knew another girl that was cool with Mac Main. Like, one of the girls that used to go to that store, she became cool with Mac Main because she lived down south. She had me interview Mac one time. So I got cool with Mac and put Karen onto that. And then she ended up over there. Like, literally, Dipset was, like, the epicenter of how we all started our careers. Like,
That's fire.
It's really cool how we all, like, graduated from the Dipset class.
That is pretty crazy.
I worked for French Montana in, like, 2008. I created, like, all his socials and shit like that. And, like, that's still, like, my brother because we knew Max from the store and stuff.
I was sitting in my apartment in Astoria playing online poker 10 hours a day, reading rap blogs.
That's
basically during it. And that's why when I look back at my life, I'm like, damn, I wish I figured out what the lit shit was earlier. Like, I didn't know how to dress, what club, and when I think about it, it's like I wouldn't have done any of these things if I did know or if I had figured it out. I just wasn't ready for that lifestyle at that point,
For me, it was just like me being a fan and just so excited to be around this shit. Like, even with the French thing, like, I had gotten an allhiphop.com internship just because I would post on, like, their message boards and shit. And they're like, oh, you write well. Do you want to, like, try things? I'm like, cool.
The rumors section on all hip hop.
Shout out to Ilse, bro.
Yes, that was a big thing.
He was, like, the OG of all that shit. And so I went I hit Max because I started, like, this was 2008. French was, like, bubbling in New York and shit. I hit Max, like, I want to meet French. I wanted to work. I had no idea what it meant to work for someone, but I wanted to work for him anyway. And so we met up with Max at a strip club, and I went up to French, like, yo, I can get you on allhiphop.com. Can I work for you? He was like, all right. And we started working together, like, legit.
Hey, it helps to fucking put yourself out there, man.
And so, like, really, like, all from Dipset shit.
I wasn't going to ask this question, but I actually really want to know the answer, so I'm just going to ask anyway. How would you describe why things ended between you and the JBP, the Joe Budden podcast? Like, what's your version of how that sort of played out?
My version is exactly what happened, and he tells these colorful versions. I still love him to death, but, like, literally, it was about April or May. He started, like, going off on these Drake rants in 2016. That was when they were like beefing and shit.
So it was still 2016 because that's when it started as well.
We started 2015, February 2015.
Because I was watching one of them on YouTube, the first episode on YouTube, and I swear it said 2016, but maybe they uploaded it to YouTube later.
Yeah, because we didn't have anything. We just had Rosenberg put us on SoundCloud and iTunes, and then so yeah, like just randomly he like really got fixated on the Drake issue. And it was becoming like he wasn't even like letting us get a word in edgewise, like me or Rory, really. Like it was weird times for a little bit. And then one day I see on Twitter that him and Rory did a joint podcast with Brilliant Idiots. Like no one said anything to me. No one like mentioned. And granted, the beef was so strong with Hot and Power that I probably, I might have been able to, but I don't know if I would have been able to participate anyway.
You were banging Hot.
Yeah, very hard. It was very Crips and Bloodsy back then. So, and so there was that. And
no murder or anything like that, but similar,
so close. And so, Rosenberg was very offended by that because they had their own little tiff too. Like Rosenberg started our podcast, and he like fired him because he felt Rosenberg wasn't doing enough.
How many episodes did he have Rosenberg part of that?
I want to say 10 max, maybe. Yeah, it was very small.
Yeah.
And so Rosenberg is I love him, but he's a very sensitive guy, so he like goes off on things, and so they had this gay ass tit for tat back and forth. So I come in one morning. And Rosenberg's like, I went in on your boy on air. And I was like, cool. I literally didn't even ask what he said because I just don't care about their stupid little beef. Like 6 hours later, I got a text from Joe that said, you're fired. Literally zero context. I have no idea what happened. And I wrote back, what? And then he wrote back, you are fired. Like he took the apostrophe out. And so I called him a couple times and he didn't answer. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so then the next day, Rory calls me like, yo, y'all gotta talk. We gotta get this sorted out. I'm like, I still don't know what the fuck happened. But to be honest with you, I don't even wanna talk because there's no mind frame that you can describe to me that makes it okay how he went about it, like at all. Like there's no way you could justify that even if you thought you heard I said this, that, or the third. The fact you couldn't pick up the phone and have a conversation with me and you just, he was waiting for that. I think he wanted an out. So, he didn't say anything else. So Rory's like, but yeah, he said like something about like you telling Rosenberg information. I'm like, what is there to tell him? We don't have any behind the scenes info. There's literally nothing to say. So then I went back to Rosenberg. I'm like, bro, what did you say this morning that made that happen? He was like, nothing. I was just mad he was doing the podcast with Charlamagne and how that you weren't like in a part of it and just basically telling him he's a piece of shit.
Oh, he kind of went to war on your behalf?
No, not even on my behalf. He was offended because Charlamagne, obviously they're the competition, and Charlamagne has always, according to Rosenberg, like shitted on Joe and like Rosenberg's like, yo, I've always lifted you up, and here you are always shitting on me, but then you go do a joint show with Charlamagne. I think he just threw me in for a little razzle dazzle, and ends up like that, and then So
were you like super upset at that time?
No, because at that point the podcast had gotten so fucking weird because of the Drake shit that I was like, and I think more so than anything, anger took, like, when you're really angry, you don't feel sad or anything else or whatever. So it was more angry, like, dog, you've been my friend for like years. I've lived with you. Like, what the fuck? You don't even give me the courtesy of a phone call. And so then he never called me, actually. We never actually had, like, just sat down and had the conversation. Then in August, so that happened early July. In August, he was promoting an album he did with A-Rap Music. And so they were talking to Ebro about coming up. And Ebro was like, yeah, come up. Mind you, I work there, so obviously I'm going to be part of the conversation. And later, like, the fans ran with this whole, like, we ambushed him on the morning show or some shit like that, which was ridiculous. There's no ambush if I fucking work at this radio station. But anyway... So he comes up and he does the interview, and it was like a really weird, he's like, I don't care about Rosenberg, I don't care about Marisa. I don't know, it was just a strange interview. He had some weird justification, kissed me on the forehead, walks out in the middle of it, and then that was it. And then like a year later, I ran into him on a red carpet, and he's like, the narrative he ran with was something about Drake, that Drake was a conflict of interest, and that Hot 97 was a conflict of interest. The Drake thing blows my mind. I never spoke about Drake. I don't know Drake. I've met Drake maybe 2 times. I have no opinion on Drake, whether positive or negative. I think he's a very successful, great young man, and that's about all I could say about Drake. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. So he ran with this, like, something to do with Drake narrative, and then the other one was just that Hot 97 was a conflict of interest, and I was telling things or something like that. And that's literally like the whole story. Like there's no other further background information that I did something. That was it. And then we started speaking again like late 2017. Revolt was like bringing him in, and so like him and I started speaking again, and like again that's my friend like for a lot of fucking years. So like more than anything, that shit just sucked. Like because I enjoyed I was mad excited about coming here today because I'm like, yo, this is where I'm my best version of me, like just fucking talking shit with dudes. Like I grew up around a bunch of boys, Hot 97, nothing but boys. So like podcast was like, I don't know, that was really fun to me. So I was fucking sad. And then I started my podcast just because people were like, you should do one now because you got off of his. But I don't know. I don't know if I felt like that. It never felt like what I wanted to do. It felt like what I was supposed to do.
Did you feel like there were issues prior to that in terms of your communication, that he wasn't like getting what he wanted in terms of the rapport and whatnot?
No,
Really?
We had no fucking issues. Like I don't know. I truly. I mean, again, he's very well spoken and he can convince you that your name's not even your name. So he'll make it sound really well, whatever version he's gonna tell you. But there's literally no more to it. I think he just didn't want me on anymore, and that was that.
Interesting.
And that's how he went about it. So.
How'd you feel watching the recent near blowout of the crew?
I turn all that shit off.
You kind of just don't pay attention.
I have it muted on my timeline. Like I just don't want it. Like that shit really fucking hurt me. And and then like they put it on. They get the deal with Spotify. There's 77 episodes of me on Spotify. I don't get a dime for that. No one had a conversation with me about that. That shit annoys me too. Like that sucks. But then again, it's like cool. Y'all could get introduced to me then on that. You can go back and listen and do shit or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird shit.
Interesting.
But I think it happened for a reason, so I'm happy for it.
It's easy to forget how much more turbulent being a Joe Budden fan was back then.
Dog.
It's like, that's actually what kind of shocked us about, when the Rory and Mal shit happened, was just like, oh, we haven't seen a lot of like conflict in Joe's business or personal relationships in a while, at least like in terms of the content, It's like, but being somebody like, I've literally been like observing Joe's career since I was like 18, and it's, it was always just like something crazy happening, something new, different, like, it just seems like he's in like a better space in his life, and it was interesting to see that kind of flare up, even though it seems to ultimately worked out,
Yeah, I mean, he's been Maul's the fucking shit, dog. Like Maul, we all used to live together in 2011. Joey had this big ass crib in Jersey. It was me, him, Maul, bunch of random girls. Like, we had the fucking time of our lives. But Maul, we used to always tell him too, like, move to LA, like go be a comedian, bro. You're so fucking funny. Like we were just like, you're wasting your talent just fucking hanging out with us all day.
Yeah.
And so I say that to say he's been friends with Maul for like a very long time. Like Maul's been like, so I don't know. Rory was a newer friend, but they're really tight too. So.
Do you think AD has Maul energy?
I don't know how to answer. You don't remind me of Maul at all, if that answers the question.
I just see people like try to.
Compare him to
I've seen
the
people
Maul
try
of the
to always
show.
like place us as like which JBP member each of us is.
Oh, we low key. Well, at this point, you're Joe, you're Rory, and
he's Joe. He ain't even talking.
At this table, he's the black dude at the table. You're the white dude at the table.
Oh, well, if
and
I'm just based on that.
I'm the me at the table.
You a hater. You want to be Joe so bad.
No,
Go suck his dick.
I think it's pretty clear that I'm kind of the engine of this podcast, which
I'll give you that.
I mean,
you're the conductor.
I'm leading it.
I
in
think
a
his
sense.
show is dope. Like, as far as all of that shit too, like I have to say, I don't fit into that landscape. Like, I can have a rap convo, but I can't hang in some of the conversations that they have. Like, it's a very different energy with them, and it works for them. Like, I'm glad I had to walk so Maul could run. Like, if anybody was gonna take my spot, I'm super fucking happy as Maul. Like, that shit is dope. I don't fit in that space.
And it's weird. Like, it's weird deciding if a weekly podcast where the goal is rapport, which is what the I would say is common between this and the Joe Budden shit, is that the goal, what we're really aiming for, is to just like create a vibe between friends that's like, so good.
That's what makes a show so good.
That's definitely the thing that people like about his shit. But that's kind of like a decision to be made, is that if you have a woman as at least one of the cast members, then it could potentially appeal to a lot more people. Because like with my girl, when we stopped having Cam Girl be the co-host, she even acknowledged, like, I think your flow podcast wise probably is better now, but it's kind of less interesting to me when there's not female energy in the
I got a lot
room.
of women fans from that shit that were just like, oh, I love that you speak your mind and talk about sex and you don't care. Like, you know, it was a different, I don't know if he wasn't into that as like that kind of attention for the show. Maybe he had a different vision for it as well. It is, like you said, it's different. So,
I mean, guys act different around girls.
yeah, it was different
Case
conversations.
in point.
No, I don't. How?
You're being all quiet and stuff. If people at home see it.
Because you're talking about something I know nothing about, so it's better to shut my fucking mouth.
Yeah, I feel like he's been talkative the whole time. It's just this conversation. He's just listening like they are.
You do have to respect when somebody doesn't volunteer their points unnecessarily, because that's like a huge thing when you're kind of like judging somebody as a podcaster is like, if somebody will just stop talking when it doesn't have anything to do with them, that's like a huge
Trust me, every
necessary
podcast,
thing.
something you told me like, this is gonna make you a better podcaster, I probably stopped it right away because I want to be the engine.
He has weird. Oh, you want to be the engine. He's planning a coup.
A coup?
Who?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a coup?
A coup is like when you, if he would like take over, like take my
Oh,
spot.
a coup? Isn't that a coup?
Coup.
Huh.
They
You gotta
actually-
look that up. I thought it was a coop now too.
They were
Yeah.
roasting Candace Owens because she said "coop" on stage when she was meant to say "coup."
You think it's?
I think it's coupe too.
It's coup.
It's spelled that way, but it's not pronounced that way.
I think Yuri would probably join me.
Now
So
I
it's
want,
a silent P? Since
now
the
I'm
fuck
hoping
way?
that I'm not wrong. Josh, am I right?
Is it a French word? What?
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
It's coupe, right?
coup.
But look at look at the pronunciation. Coup, K-O-O.
Oh, you are right. We are all right. We are all right. So
A
it is and it's
sudden,
French.
violent, and illegal seizure of power from a government. That's what AD's planning. A notable or successful
So you're trying to do
stroke
something
or move.
And they call it good sex.
No, I asked him this though because I said, out of all the personalities you have in No Jumper, like if something was to happen to you, God forbid, who would you have to run the show? And then you said you're probably the best choice.
I mean, when I
said
watch
it.
these prison shows and I watch how, like, you know,
Oh, my God.
I would say yes. Like, if we think of this as a prison gang, you seem to have sort of
prison
risen.
gang?
Well, I'm just, or if you think about it
Oh,
as
like
anything.
oh, you talking
Vice
about the
president.
rank? You talking like a rank
Yeah,
style?
yeah. Because like you see, like on 60 Days In, when they send these guys in, it's like you just figure out hella quick where they stand in the pecking order. You know?
True.
And it's pretty crazy. And yeah, but I mean, in terms of on camera, I mean, Housephone not showing up like 30% of the time is
Not the best.
that makes him being the leader kind of hard to imagine in a way. Like the leader kind of has show. I was honestly like
Most
seven
times leaders
I was
should be
7
around.
minutes late for the interview I did before this one. And I was thinking that I'm like, it's crazy how this doesn't matter at all. Like I could just be late every fucking day. But I don't, but I never am. Like I was 7 minutes late and I couldn't believe it.
Well, white
but
people
it's like,
tend to be on
you know,
time,
the guest is
They do.
clear. The guest is gonna wait if I'm late.
Facts. Of course
But I
they're
mean,
gonna wait for you.
it's like I'm in charge. I
It's like
can't.
you're the
I can't
bigger
be
deal in the
late.
scenario most
You know,
times.
I can't be late. Like it's 7 minutes late one time. Okay, that's fine. But if I was like consistently late, it would seem kind of crazy.
It's bad for business.
Yeah, AD's got a little bit of a lateness problem.
No.
He's a rapper.
You know, no.
It's in his
And
blood.
wait, hold on. We're going to talk about that too. For one, I'm here more than anybody. Correct?
Besides me
And
on
two-
camera, yeah,
I always have tire problems.
tire problems.
Tire problems?
He fills his tires with cocaine and drives to Mexico.
Sounds right.
Whatever works for you.
I was just kidding. He does not actually do that.
No, but one thing I can say is in the mornings we film this Snapchat news show, I'll either come on time and Adam is late and he's not here.
I'm never late.
Yes, you are.
Me being late in the morning is like I'm 5 minutes late.
Bro.
You are sometimes like a half hour late.
Yeah, that's true. But
Well, it's either all or nothing. You're going to be a little late.
we used to do it at 10 in the morning. I still get the notifications.
Me too. That's what it says in my phone every day.
10 in the morning Snapchat
Even
news.
though I know it's not at 10. Yeah, we should probably change that.
Nah,
Laura said no.
keep the 10. That's like an alarm for me now. If I get too drunk from the night before.
His manager had to talk to him at one point because he was coming in with wrinkled shirts on and shit.
I talk to myself. What's wrong with you? And I had that conversation with Housephone. I said, originally I used to come in just like fresh out of bed. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever.
Now you take this seriously.
Then I said, you know what? And I told Housephone this. I said, when we on camera, we need to give 110% to the audience. You know what I'm saying? Put on your uniform. You know what I'm saying? Put on your I say, I'm Batman. I put on my bat cape and I want to entertain the people. And then when I go, I can do whatever.
I mean, yeah, when Housephone does come in, that is one thing that you can say is that he's pretty into the fit. Like his fit is always on point.
Yeah, like who
And
wants
he
to
usually shows it off on camera and talks about it quite a bit.
who wants to look at somebody 3-4 times a week and be like,
Yeah.
I want to be like this bum. Like, nah, you want to be like, I like that guy, I like his energy. I want to be like him. Kids look up to shit
I wear
like
the
that.
same shit every day.
I'm like,
And
so was this is a conscious effort? You look nice today.
You know what I'm
Compton
saying?
Boulevard.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm about to get more chains, about to get more jewelry.
Oh,
and we're going
God.
to do this coupe. Black no jumper coming soon.
this coupe. I feel like, yeah, you should definitely come in frozen every day with Bryant Pumper jewels.
Do you put any thought into what you wear?
No. I wear the same pair of pants for weeks until my kid pukes on them, and then I switch them out.
I consciously put on this Goosebumps shirt. I thought that was cool.
Kind of spooky.
Yeah, and then my earrings.
Shout out R.L. Stein.
Bro, the Goosebumps show, the theme song, is one of the best beats ever.
Goosebumps, you said?
What's the Goosebumps show?
I just
You
remember.
didn't know
it
that
was like-
Goosebumps had a show?
Was it on Nickelodeon back in the day?
No,
Yes.
it was
That
not.
was
on
Are You Afraid of
Nickelodeon.
the Dark?
Yeah,
No.
it was on like PBS or one of them channels. It wasn't on.
Could be.
I went through a period of time where I
I was
was
a Nick kid.
buying
You
a
can't-
hella Goosebumps books, but then
They scared me a little
They
bit.
started to like all kind of seem the same, and I was like, why the fuck am I buying all these?
I was more a babysitter.
Night of the Limit Dummy.
People would come through
Night of the Living- that's a
people would come to
classic
school
one.
with a whole box set of Goosebumps, like a whole.
Remember the Say Cheese and it had the skeletons in the house? It was like a photograph and everyone came out as skeletons. I always remember that cover because it was very bizarre looking. He remembers. Yeah.
Back in New Hampshire.
And then I
No.
made my own Goosebumps board game. I used to just make random shit like that. It was fire.
That's fire.
I
You
still
ever
have it.
Have you ever been in a shootout?
I don't believe so. No.
too
Which is
bad.
surprising to me. And I only saw someone do cocaine like in the last 2 years. Like I don't know
What?
how I've lived such a crazy life and a sheltered life at the same time.
Yeah, but I feel like in New York, like in a lot of social circles, well, really in a lot of social circles in general, it's just like people just don't do coke, and then
Yeah.
in certain social circles, it's so completely
And
normal.
I feel like it's more of a white thing to do coke. And I don't have a lot of white friends that so like I guess no one did coke.
I say mix because I see a lot of black people do it now.
Yeah, maybe.
Now?
Well, now I feel like it's a
Yeah.
little more like, oh fuck it, we're just gonna do some coke tonight. I
Because
don't
it's
know.
like a sign that you made it in life.
Yeah,
Like, if
honestly,
you're
though.
so
And
far
now you're
away-
with the white people doing coke, you out there.
Because yo, if you live in the projects and you walk out of your fucking apartment every day and you see crackheads,
yeah, you're not
coke's got to seem a little less appealing.
exactly. It's exactly.
But if you
right.
can make it in life to the point where you don't have to see crackheads, and that's just like something you're not thinking about, so you can just go do coke and not realize that you're kind of like exhibiting the behavior of these motherfuckers who live on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only reason I never tried it because I have addictive personality. When I get
same.
on that,
I literally is that plus I'm scared like I'm gonna be the example of like God makes and he's gonna just kill me on the spot.
well, right now that may happen
what
because
I
they putting fentanyl on everything.
Exactly. You don't fucking know what's in
Yeah,
that shit.
but-
man-made things. I mean, man-made, earth-made things only. Weed and shrooms
Yeah.
is all I'll touch.
Well, no, tequila.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even really drink.
Who makes
either.
tequila? Probably men, right? Well, I guess men make coke as well.
I think it's
Yeah,
like
but they also put
agave
things in it
and
and
some.
like limes and shit. I don't know. Right? It's all natural things. It's
It's all natural,
Yeah.
though.
You know, but I'm laughing at you for saying that, but like, I remember seeing Gunplay doing coke in Colombia in a video on like the rap vlogs back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
That's
thought he
fire,
was
though.
the craziest motherfucker on earth because I'd never seen anybody
Oh, no, yeah, he
do
was
coke, like
crazy,
especially
yeah.
a rapper.
Yeah.
I had no
He gave not a
clue.
single fuck. He scared the shit out
He
of
also,
me.
there was video of him knocked out in the club or some shit.
He was a wild.
And I
man.
remember like that was crazy for me too. Like, damn, like you're an actual poppin' rapper and there's footage of you laid the fuck out in the club. That is pretty rare. Like I'd never seen that from a rapper before.
It can happen to anybody.
Rap was definitely like his random side hustle. That was not even his. He definitely was like a fucking crazy trapper.
He was definitely like Rick Ross's guy that he brought around
yeah.
who just happened to be able to
Bi
rap.
on yeah.
Oh, Unc is gonna go take a little pee break. Damn, them shorts are riding a little high. You might want to pull those down.
I was worried that
Showing a little too much knee.
a lot of kneecap happening.
I think I might have seen the tip poking out the bottom of his shorts.
God. I was honestly worried I was gonna have to run to the bathroom at some point too, like that, because that colonoscopy prep is crazy. Like
You've been peeing a lot all day?
no, it was yesterday. Today I'm good actually, so there's no real fear. But
Doing podcasts has really let me know a lot more about my bladder than I knew before.
I can hold a really long time.
I cannot.
Mm.
When I'm doing these podcasts, 2 hours, that's kind of it.
And then do you break or you end? To pee?
Sometimes I'll take a break and go pee, but you know, sometimes I just use the pee as like an excuse or like a Like in my head, I always know how long it is too. So it's like in my head, it's like if I have to pee at the 2 hour mark, it's like, all right, let's just end this because it seems like a good time to end anyway.
2 hours is a good commitment to what you were doing.
I mean, when you make it really long, you're kind of like asking a lot of people. Like if this is 3 hours long, I look at 3 hours and I'm like, Like, what is 4 hours? 4 hours is way too long.
I don't listen to really any podcast, funny enough, not even my own when I did it. So I couldn't commit any of that time.
I know it is. It's a lot, right? Like that's what always kind of amazes me. I'm like, damn, I got 200,000 people to watch a 2 hour fucking podcast.
And then like think about like they're probably. I was thinking about that the other day. Like they're probably sitting in a room with like multiple family members just tuned in to what random fucking shit you're saying. That's so cool.
That's why TikTok is the fucking best because we'll do an interview that gets like 100,000 views and then we'll put it on TikTok and it'll be like 5 clips that have millions of views.
That's crazy.
It's such a good feeling.
I'm high.
That's why I stopped before y'all because I was like, let me not get stupid.
But like the idea that like you can get that many more people to watch like a
Isn't
1
it so
minute
cool?
version.
The freest marketing in the motherfucking world is so great. Can't
Why
pay for
the
that kind
fuck
of
is
shit.
TikTok so nasty with the virality?
It's so crazy.
I don't understand how it fucking works.
I really don't either.
Who are all like? Because now we have like a pretty big platform on TikTok, but I spend almost no time flicking through the For You thing. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot from flicking through that for sure.
I can't even be bothered with. I hate all these things. I've become a hermit crab.
Yeah.
What?
It's a long story.
Oh wait, that's a blood thing, right? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Woo, woo.
My big B's.
She hanging out with Dipset and all that.
Been around.
Yo,
Jim
I got
Jones
a chance
too
to
long.
ask Kat Sachs yesterday. I said, so, because she was saying that she never sold pussy to rappers. And I said,
That's a possibility.
I'm like, you said at one point that you charged, that Jim Jones paid you $800 for some pussy.
Oh
She
my
goes,
God.
that's not true. I never even met him. I just said that because Jenna Shea told me to.
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
Wow.
That's just laid it right out right there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I honestly, I can't wait to drop that interview, but also at the same time, it was kind of
We
sad.
spoke to her when she came to Hot 97.
You did the last interview with her, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or no, were
I
you?
don't know. That was like 28.
No, because
19,
it was
no,
Scotty
17.
Beam and Rosenberg and Ebro.
Yeah. I was standing behind Ebro randomly in the thing.
Oh, you were in there? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was a. I felt sad for her too.
Me too.
Yeah, she's lived a very tough life.
Yes.
She's definitely a product of her environment for sure.
Big time. But I mean, like, and you could see why, like, the Selena thing, like, is so clearly kind of modeled on the Kat Stacks thing.
Yeah.
She's so similar in terms of having this, like, terrible childhood sexual trauma and then, you know, basically getting into a lot of the same shit as Kat Stacks. The thing is like, Selena, like, makes being a hoe seem fun. Mm-hmm. Kat
Yeah,
Stacks
I
like highlighted the drama and the attacking people, but
yes.
she never really made it seem like sexy or fun.
It seemed awful. It seemed like
Yeah.
a life no one would ever want to live. Yeah, Selena makes it like it's a joyous
A
thing.
party.
Yeah.
But Selena's gonna burn herself out because all these dudes know exactly what she's about, and they're
Yeah.
fucking either not fucking her, or they're hella on edge.
I don't have
Yeah.
no problem.
He's scared to death of her.
She disappoints me though. She like does she I saw like one of her I used to like watch a couple of her. She intrigues me so much. I was like watching her YouTube videos one day. I just like trying to understand this girl cuz she'll have these moments of like real clarity and like wanting to be a better person and not wanting to lie on people, and then she just turns around and does it again. And I don't know.
Yeah, she even when we were just doing her podcast together, she's just like talking about her life, and at one point she's just like, I'm just a whore. I just want to suck dick. That's all I care about. I'm
And
like,
I feel like she doesn't really deep in her heart.
I mean, I know you too well, Selena. Like, you can't just say that shit to me anymore at this point in me knowing you and expect me to just accept it, bro. Like, it was kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
I was almost a little disappointed when she said that because I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to keep it realer than that with me. I know you too well.
Yeah, that makes. I don't know. I feel sad for her. I mean, I fuck with her, and she's getting money. I'm happy for her, but
Yeah.
I feel like she's not really happy.
That's the crazy thing about like every girl who was like a broke ass hoe in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
There for them now, there's a rich ass girl with OnlyFans.
Yes,
Like-
that.
OnlyFans is changing lives.
If you're willing
For
to
real.
pull a titty out on camera, then you can live comfortably and probably better than like all the guys you know off of your OnlyFans. It's a strange thing. I don't know who the dudes are who are copping all these OnlyFans because how often do you hear a dude just say like, oh yeah, I got her OnlyFans, and her OnlyFans? I don't hear about it. I don't think dudes really talk about it. I don't know,
and yeah, but that's you
must have one because all these girls are rich, but you never talk about it.
What you mean?
I'm just saying. Somebody's got to be copping all these OnlyFans.
There's a lot of people, yeah.
All these guys who work here. Trev? He said he don't got one.
No,
He's lying.
My homie
Josh?
told me this weekend.
Lying.
My homie told me this weekend that he copped somebody's OnlyFans. I forgot who it was. I was like.
Have you ever like subscribed to a porn site?
Back in the day.
Yeah, I've paid like $10 before.
And then they reoccurringly bill you, so I get charged like a few more months.
I cancel ASAP. I'd be horny as fuck wanting to see that one video.
One of the worst things that ever happened to me, I'm just going to air this one out. This is a sad tale from my life. But so there was this girl, Naomi, who actually ended up dying of AIDS. She was a porn star, and there was this whole crisis that happened where like a bunch of different girls got AIDS, and she died from it. But she was a white girl with a huge ass back in the day, and I just saw her on a porn site at one point and just got kind of a little fixated. Like if there was OnlyFans back then, I definitely would have copped the OnlyFans. Like I was just jerking off to this girl all the time. And I remember that like I'm just looking on some porn site and I just see like her first anal scene, and I had
watch that.
I had never paid for porn in my whole life, and I was like, I gotta see it. I copped it, but so there was two options. There was like a month. Let's say it was like a month for $12, or you get 3 days for $5. And I'm like, bro, I only need to see this shit once. I'm gonna pay my $5. I'm gonna cancel it the next day, right?
Yeah.
The next day I'm out riding my bike. I fucking fall and I fucking smash my kneecap. I shatter my fucking kneecap and it gets all infected. I end up being in the fucking hospital for a week.
Yuck.
And I'm looking at my email because I had my fucking friend bring me oh wait, how did I check my email? I forget. Either way, no, I didn't have any way to cancel it because you didn't have email on your phone back then. This is like early 2000s. I had to call the homie and be like, listen, I need you to go on Big Giant Asses whatever it was. I was like, I know, because it said, like, I looked at what the reoccurring, like, I knew already that it was gonna be like they were gonna keep charging me $10 every 3 days or something. And like, you know, I'm like fucking cheapskate my whole life. I don't want to get fucking charged $1 that I don't have to get charged. I had to call the homie and ask him to unsubscribe to this fucking site for me.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That hurt my pride a little bit.
I did one recently. It was like puretaboo.com. They have like really good storylines because I hate the bad acting and I need the plot because that's what makes me like, that's the best part of it. So Pure Taboo was like high quality cameras, like really fucking high quality and like really weird scenarios, and I fucking love it. So I paid like $10. It was like last year.
Did it deliver?
It did. I really enjoyed all the videos, so shout out to that site.
You ever beat off? Mm-hmm. How was that?
Who hasn't?
Right? Like what?
Shine the helmet.
Your face like you didn't know whether to laugh or be like you didn't know where to go with it.
I mean,
no, I just told him before that I'd rather fuck than jack off. Like if a woman is around, I'd rather fuck the woman than jack off. Whoa. He thinks that was strange. I don't know why.
Why would that be strange?
Wait, what?
Remember before? He was like, you do beat off. And I was like, bro, if you got pussy lined up, you don't have to beat off.
Oh, no. Yeah. My argument is just that masturbating is so simple and so casual and easy and fast.
Very fast.
That, I mean, there's many times in my life, like, for instance, this morning in the shower at 9 a.m., where it's like,
the news, no.
You know, it was in the shower.
I know.
I'm sure I was fine by the time I got here. And we just fist bumped anyway. You know, it's like, I'm not going to like bother my girlfriend. Oh, stop breastfeeding.
Right.
Put the kid in the high chair. Well, come in the other room with me.
That's different.
I'm in the shower. I'm going to fucking jerk off. It's going to take me 3 minutes and I'm going to get a huge stress relief and I can go about the whole rest of my day without thinking about my wiener.
It's really good endorphins, actually. It's like good for you. I do it almost every morning, just in the bed. I don't use any toy, I just lay there.
You got to get your human needs out of the way. I don't want to be hungry at work. I don't want to be thinking about fucking at work.
I don't like the bus in the mornings. It makes me just tired.
Well, I think it's different for
yeah, but he drives to Home Depot every time he jerks off. And he sits in the parking lot in his car with a box of Kleenex.
I would love for you to write a Lifetime story about my life, because your version would be fucking
every
amazing.
Day would start at Home Depot and end at Home Depot.
Do you really like that store? Or do you?
No, it's just like when he tells people about me, it's like so crazy and so untrue.
He has nice teeth, though, right?
He does.
Yeah, beating off's all right. Just let it happen.
Oh man,
Is there anything
for
else?
guys.
We definitely didn't cover any stories.
we did talk about nothing today.
We talked about so many things at the same time.
Do you want to know what these are the topics the Housephone sent through that I don't care about talking about?
Hopefully he's alive. Housephone, please come home.
Yeah. Don't make us feel like assholes for. Oh, also, I have something so good that I got to tell you about that another interviewer told me that I probably shouldn't say on air. Where is it? Where's Housephone? Boom. Okay, these are the things he wrote down. Jack Harlow club shooting, which we already talked about on the news. Mm-hmm. Lil Mosey turns himself into police.
I didn't know this.
Not really that interesting. Like, doesn't really tell you much. Lil Yachty sells 15,000. Do you listen to the project?
The project?
Oh, the album?
Yeah.
He sold 15,000 units?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it, but.
I actually like it more than the last time we talked about it. I got to listen to it another time.
I heard it on the party bus this weekend, and one of the songs was cracking.
Yachty's fire. I mean,
Yeah.
AD was raised on the party bus.
No,
Quando
license.
Rondo gets shot at in Georgia.
you knew that was coming. That was gonna happen.
It's Atlanta.
I mean, yeah, it's not super surprising. His boy got hit, I guess.
Yeah, it happens.
Scary. Yuri's birthday. Happy
What were we
birthday,
gonna-
Yuri!
What were we going to talk about Yuri's birthday?
know.
though?
None of-
Other than his birthday.
none of us- he went to San Diego for 3 days with his girlfriend.
and he wasn't here.
Yeah, we didn't have anything to do with it. Him not being here really meant that we didn't get him anything, which kind of sucks, but we gave him the day
Yeah,
off.
gave him
That's
the
what we
day
gave him. His day otherwise would have been sitting here on stream. No, he was here Friday. Yeah. He wouldn't want to miss a Friday. Yuri loves Fridays.
He does.
Yeah.
That was it? That was all.
No, he also wrote down new Jay-Z and Nas DJ Khaled song, Are We Tired of Old School Rappers? I have not listened to that album.
Who said that?
That's what he wrote.
That song is fucking
I
fire.
haven't heard it. I got to listen to that project.
That nigga Nas said, what do you say? He's cryptocurrency Scarface, something like that. They just flexing their accolades, which was dope.
You're easily impressed.
Nah, the accolades.
Old rapper talks about something that like is
I have
new.
seen a lot of people say that.
Wait a minute.
that track was-
Cryptocurrency.
I don't know. I don't
Nas
think,
says cryptocurrency. I'm impressed.
No, I'm just saying. Not, a lot of people don't know that Nas does a lot of fucking investments,
Oh,
like
hella
the
investments.
iRing
That
shit and all
man.
type of stuff. So to hear him talk about shit like that, that's not the average. I rap, trap, or sell millions of records and shit like that. Like I'm getting dumb money off of something else other
You
than
better
rap.
have some goddamn cryptocurrency if he's still paying Khalees like $300,000 a month or
I
whatever.
know that's fucking
I feel
crazy.
like they lowered it though at some
I
point.
think I remember hearing that too. Yeah.
That was like the highest shit I ever heard,
yeah.
other than
Hey,
50.
Get your money, sis.
He also wrote
Hell no,
Drake Chrome Hearts Rolls Royce.
that was fire.
Probably, I have no idea what he's talking about, and I don't
either.
care.
I
He
didn't
got
see it.
chrome hard interior all in the Rolls Royce.
Cool.
That's tight.
It's hot.
That's hot.
I took a shit this morning.
Nice. I had
Same
a
thing.
colonoscopy this morning.
I feel like Drake getting like a new custom Chrome Hearts item is like as normal
Right.
as me taking a shit in the morning. So
Exactly.
I
It's
just I don't
literally regular.
I don't know how much conversation we could really make about him having something nice for the 5 millionth time.
After the jet, what else? What else
Does
is
it, I
there?
wonder if it gets
You know?
boring for him. Like, what else can he fucking do? Yeah.
Ruin marriages.
Hey man, that was funny though. A lot of people like what we said on the news about that.
He did him a favor,
Yeah, he did him a favor.
basically.
Watch your sitch, man.
Shout out to Drake.
We're gonna introduce you to this guy, C-Mac the Loke.
Okay, he sounds
Hey,
like
Tony.
You're
a
gonna-
wonderful person.
You'll love him.
Okay.
I think you're definitely going to want to start having sex again once you find out about this guy. Might be able to get a conjugal visit because he's currently locked up.
Damn.
He's looking for a baby mama, though, I
Does he
believe.
pick apples?
Yes.
Okay. Will he appreciate my seasonal decor?
He actually mostly eats at Popeyes, from what I can tell.
Okay, I eat very healthy, so I don't know if that would work for me.
I watched Callie Muscle eat Popeyes doing ASMR on Sunday night when I was getting ready to interview him. And watching him do ASMR and eat Popeyes made me order Popeyes in that moment.
I think Popeyes is so gross. It's so salty.
You
Blasphemy.
You need to go. Can we,
You need to go.
she cannot be here if she's going to say terrible things like that.
So it's not. I don't like it too much.
Clearly, you have a lot to learn
I
about
have perhaps. So
We like Popeyes. It's just we've decided.
collective.
Don't you feel like everyone has just kind of
it is
decided?
widely
Last
adopted.
Friday-
Popeyes is pretty good.
Last Friday, you seen that shit I bought? We had like a whole Popeyes platter for everybody.
And I actually didn't touch it
Yeah, you sure didn't. Everybody else did.
because I had meal prep.
$80 worth of fucking money.
I don't really. I'm more like a buffalo wings than like a fried chicken person. So maybe that's why.
I guess I could see that if you were from like Cambodia and you didn't grow up around all this amazing fried chicken.
You don't like
But
Wingstop? Whoa!
When's the last time you had KFC?
First of all,
you got any love
I
for
don't
it?
eat KFC.
Yeah,
I don't
either.
eat
Unless
haven't-
you want to sponsor the next No Jumper show.
I got food poisoning from fucking KFC like 10 years ago. And I don't
Okay,
think I
you
had it
probably
since.
never-
What did
gone
you
back.
eat there?
I used to get that mashed potato bowl.
Who the fuck goes to KFC and get that?
That shit
Sounds
was
pretty
good.
Sounds pretty white to me.
It does sound white.
That shit was good.
Taco Bell is mine. That's why I fuck with Taco Bell.
Del Taco.
Not me.
I've literally never. Someone just asked me. I've never been to Del Taco before.
Maybe you and AD can head there after this.
Maybe they have apples there.
But they won't be on trees, and it defeats the purpose.
Go apple picking.
They have apple pie.
No,
They do.
We have to physically pick the apple and make the pie.
Where do you
ourselves.
find this orchard?
Oh, yeah.
All over in Jersey, they're everywhere.
No, but how about that idea? You go to Popeyes, you get the apple pie, but you empty out the apple filling, and then you go
your
apple
own.
picking, get your own apples.
Can we do
you
that
cook
as a
them,
segment
prepare
for the
them,
show?
and then you fill the Popeyes crust
No, you
with the apple
beautiful.
chunks.
You
It probably
glue the
tastes
apple
really
pieces
good.
together.
It
If you
probably
did that
tastes
on a
bomb.
first date with a girl, she's giving up the nookie.
For
She's
sure,
gonna
she's
fuck with
definitely fucking just off the creativity alone.
you.
Like,
She's gonna be like, "This guy's the
beautiful.
greatest guy I ever met in my life."
amazing. Definitely would fuck.
You should be a dating expert.
I am. I'm the new Kevin Samuels.
Adam Paniels?
Pants.
I don't know.
That was bad.
There he is. I'm high.
He's way too high. All right, this has been good. Hopefully, Housephone will recover at some point. I don't know. It's like you just have to wonder. Like, at what point is it okay for us to like be like, bro? If you're not gonna show up, we gotta like, that's just kind of like the bare minimum.
Maybe he fell asleep.
He probably did, but he always says that.
Oh, well, maybe he's got a problem. Maybe he's narcoleptic.
No,
Maybe.
he does a lot of drugs all weekend, and then on Tuesdays,
I'm gonna say that next week. I'm
he's still in
narcoleptic.
like a state of recovery.
Hopefully the homie is fine because I'm going to feel bad if it's something's really happening. And now I have to search the jail website again for him.
There's no chance he's in jail.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Stealing a horse medicine?
He was texting us
A
all
tranquilizer?
energetic about doing this podcast earlier. What are the odds they fell asleep because he was fucking up all weekend, or that they caught him doing this and that? I'm sorry. The odds of him getting caught up are so much less.
Peter kidnapped him.
PETA?
What if it's like a fight with a girl? Sometimes you just like go off the charts when you're
Hell no.
really sad.
That's some real hoe ass shit. I'd be way more mad if it was beefing with a girl than if it
Yeah.
was ketamine.
That would be trash.
Yeah.
Wait, who's doing horse tranquilizers?
Allegedly, some people have.
Okay.
No,
AD does it too.
No, I don't.
They actually had to get rid of the Compton Cowboys because they didn't have any horse
They did not
tranquilizers
get
left
rid
because
of
he
him.
did it all when we went
And
there.
shout out to the homies that got a Tommy Hilfiger commercial right now. I've been watching it and been seeing it.
The Compton Cowboys?
Yeah, fire.
I gotta wait for my kid to turn like 2 so I can bring her to Compton and take her on those horses.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
there's
get-
real horses in Compton?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
I could just picture my girl right now.
Apples,
Maybe
too.
we could go to a farm in the valley and not go to Compton. Maybe we don't have to go to Compton with the baby.
You
Yeah.
just love it so much. You
I'm
went
like, baby,
twice.
it's
You went twice this year.
Compton. I'm gonna go again. We'll just drive around at night.
I'm gonna bring the ponies out again.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if I've ever been to Compton.
you should
Out
go.
here.
You want to go for a drive?
You should not. You should not go.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much for me to do. Oh, I did. I had to go one time for an interview. That was it.
At the Popeyes?
No.
This has been the No Jumper Show. Appreciate y'all.
Bye.
We'll be back real soon. Riding horses in the hood with the Compton Cowboys. Go watch.
Bro, probably the first time I went to go use a restroom during the pod. I see why you do it now.
Why?
No,
Oh, you're drinking a lot
he
of
just
water,
drinks.
too.
He drinks. He has his little gallon, so he always would do that.
Yeah, that's what I have at home. But I don't move on the road with that.
I can't drink that big jug. I need like just water bottles.